the holiday spirit yet? You know the Aeros are. You looking for a great present? Always go top shelf where Grandma keeps the peanut butter. Find yourself a little short? Get some help from a friend. It's the spirit of giving. And are you fighting off the holiday blahs? Hey, yo, cheer up. Aeros hockey is next on Prime Sports. Live from the Summit in Houston, Texas, Prime Sports and the Houston Aeros present International Hockey League action. Tonight, the Houston Aeros take on the Cincinnati Cyclones. A very pleasant good evening, everybody. A very happy Hanukkah, a very Merry Christmas. I think I covered them all there. I'm Adam Gordon as we get set for the first of two meetings this weekend between the Houston Aeros and the Cincinnati Cyclones. And I bring in my broadcast partner, Mike Greenlay. And Greener, the Aeros seem to have found the net a little bit better. They're starting to score some goals, and they're led by a guy they've been waiting all year to break out, and that's Sylvain Turgeon.
Yeah, they have. Sylvain Turgeon has been working very hard. He has a 6-game point streak. And he also has 15 points in his last 8 games. 2 of those are goals, and 2 of them came last 2 games ago against Cleveland.
And you look at his line mates, Marc Freer and Graham Townsend, they're right there with him.
Well, they certainly are. They're both playing very well. Marc Freer has 8 goals, 13 assists for 21 points this year. And Townsend, 10 goals, 3 assists for 13. So they're both finding the net along with Sylvain Turgeon.
When you look at the Cincinnati Cyclones and figure out what their best line is, it's not up front, it's not on the defense, it's back in the nets. Danny Lorenz and Freddie Chabot.
Well, these are the 2 of the top net miners in the league right now, and it's good when you can go to either one of them and get a strong game, and both these guys are there available for Cincinnati.
Yeah, an interesting story with Danny Lorenz. He walked into one of the local Houston jewelry shops, told the owner that he felt that the Aeros really aren't playing for anything, not playing with much emotion, and that went right to the Aero locker room because that jewelry store was one of the sponsors of the Aeros. That should give the boys a little bit of a boost, and it takes us to our Oshman's game plan. It's brought to you by Oshman Super Sports USA.
Well, first of all, the Aeros have to play Aeros hockey, and that means they have to play their own system. They can't allow Cincinnati to take the play to them. Second, they have to finish checks. When the Aeros finish their checks, it usually causes turnovers, and they're allowed to score. Third is effective forechecking. They're going with a 1-4 forecheck tonight, and that's a little bit different, but hopefully it'll force the Cincinnati Cyclones to dump the puck in.
Yeah, Cyclones normally don't like to dump it in, and I think that forecheck will be a big key tonight. When we return, Kevin is standing by in the Prime Sports Clubhouse. You're watching Houston Aeros hockey on Prime Sports. Houston Aeros hockey on Prime Sports is being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. By your participating Texas Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep and Eagle dealers. By Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment to healthcare together. By Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car, take it to the star. And by the Gatorade Company. If you're living life to the fullest, you're gonna get thirsty. That's why you need Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Life's a sport, drink it up.
The linesman set and go, and it's right.
Back in the Summit, Adam Gordon, Mike Greenlay. We are set for the Houston Aeros and the Cincinnati Cyclones, and let's quickly jump to tonight's starting lineups. And they're brought to you by Southwest Airlines for Cincinnati. Todd, Hawkins, Marc, Labelle, Doug Macdonald with Chris Dahlquist, Len Esau on defense, and in goal, Freddie Chabot. And he has the terrific record of 11-4-1 and has played very well against Houston, as is Danny Lorenz when he has been in. Aeros control the puck. They move it right to left in this period. They'll shoot it into the Cincinnati zone. Macdonald is there, trying to knock it free along the far boards. He scooped it out at center, and it goes back into the Aero end. Laniel hustles back, watched by Hawkins. They battle in the far corner. Puck is loose. It went high in the air. Dobson will glove it. He will hold on with 30 seconds gone in the first. No score, and that takes us to our Houston Aeros starting lineup. Again, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The line of Al Conroy, Kelly Hurd, Mike Yeo with a defensive tandem of Steve Jakes and Marc Laniel, and in goal Rob Dobson, who comes in with a record of 7-10-2 with a 4.06 goals against average. But Greener, the guy, has been playing some terrific hockey in his last 4 outings.
Well, he certainly has. The game against Atlanta, he almost won single-handedly. There were so many good performances, you can't say that, though. And of course, against Cleveland, he had a very, very strong outing, and he came up pretty big against Detroit, but couldn't get enough goals for him. But I tell you what, good choice to go with him. He's hot, he's played a lot lately, so you may as well go with him.
Off the face-off, the Cyclones have it. Dwayne Joyce sends it back down behind the Aero net. Jakes plays it for Houston. Long pass misses everybody, but this will go on to Chabot, which is not only a shot on goal, but obviously negates the icing. Dale DeGray takes over for Cincinnati. Quick pass along the board, scooped to the line, not out. Jakes held it in, but it's finally cleared to center. Dobbin for Cincinnati, looped it into the Aeros zone, and Laniel will hustle back to play. He'll blast it along the boards. Don Biggs looped it away, but Marc Lamb comes to center ice. The IHL Player of the Week. He had the puck and then lost control of it, and here's Marc Laniel at his own end. Get it to Lamb at his own blue line. Rick white pass intercepted by Joyce. Bring it across the line. He'll shoot it into the Aeros zone. Knocked down by Dobson. Laniel is there. Laniel skating away from traffic. He'll move to center. Pass Slivchenko through the neutral zone. Now Lamb hits the line. Then it was tipped away, and Kontos cleared it. Joyce starts the rush the other way. Rink wide pass down the right side. Tomlinson centered it, but it was knocked away. And Lamb, he'll clear to center. Knocked down by Joyce. And it is right back into the Aeros zone. I'll tell you, Cincinnati doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and that's the way the game's going to have to be played. Lots of good plays tonight, limited mistakes, and you'll have a chance. Kontos fired it down. It's played along the boards. It is Scott Thomas trying to move it along the wall, and it came out in front, but Tomlinson couldn't pull the trigger, and it's back down along the near side. Kontos bump near side, gives it right in. Tomlinson center to pass. The shot. Oh, marvelous save. Turned away by Dobson, and Krupke clears it, and then drops down Thomas in behind the net. A big hit, and the puck is cleared. Jeff Wells for Cincinnati looped the puck ahead, intercepted O'Connor, turns it Townsend, trying to get by the check, but Wells in a race with Townsend beats him to the puck, base of the right circle. Dahlquist, he'll chip it for Cincinnati. Puck sails up over the glass and out of play. 17:47 to go in the first. No score in the hockey game.
You know, Adam, you talked about that. We talked about that 1-4-4 check that the Aeros are going to try and do tonight. And why don't you talk to Terry about it? Why don't you explain it a little bit?
Well, basically, and for those of you that will be watching on Prime Sports, and for those of you that are listening on KPRC, and especially in the Summit, will see this. What the Aeros are going to do is they're going to send in one forward very hard and very aggressive. If the defense reads that he can get there and cough the puck up, a second guy goes in there and it turns into a 2-1-2. If not, the D falls back. They line up four across the blue line and try to force the guys to the wall. This will hopefully negate the speed.
Yeah, and that will also force the Cincinnati Cyclones to dump the puck in, something they're not used to doing. And if they can get the Cyclones to play their system, it'll give them a really good chance to win the game.
Puck goes into the Aeros zone. Donnelly is there. Spins one out at center ice, taken back by Len Esau. And he'll send it back to Dale DeGray. DeGray at neutral ice, watched by Conroy, shovels the puck into the Aeros zone. Donnelly hustles back. He's pursued by Chris Shahaki. That has got to be perhaps the top name for the sport. Here's the puck in behind. I mean, you really can't have a name like Jim Basketball or Eric Football, but Chris Shahaki's a great name for ice hockey. The puck came out in front, and it's back out at center ice and into the Cincinnati zone. DeGray hustles back. Kelly Hurd pursues. It's blasted along the boards and out at center, but O'Connor is there and ripped it right back into the Cincinnati end behind Chabot. It is Dale DeGray with 3 minutes gone in the first, no score. DeGray snapped the pass to center for Lawless in his first game back after missing 5 or 6 games with a groin injury. Dobson chipped the puck ahead to Lamb, and the Aeros moved to center. Lamb, pass for Arneal block, turned away. Slivchenko's got it, fired it into the zone. Lamb pursues. Lamb drops Slivchenko. Slivy looks for the pass down along the boards. They grapple along the near side. Slivchenko chopped down by Hawkins. Play moving on. Puck in the corner. Kicked Arneal. Looks back Slivchenko. They take it out in the scrum. Slivchenko through traffic. He's worked on by Todd Hawkins for Cincinnati. Puck is in skates. It's fished out by Arneal. Scott Arneal turning along the left wing boards. He'll send it behind the net, but Marc Labelle is there for Cincinnati. Can't clear as Jakes held it in. Joyce in the corner. Had it stripped by Lamb. Picked up though by Labelle. He'll swing it to the line, not out. Aeros held it in. Turning right side, but knocked away, and Dwayne Joyce romps to center ice. Here comes Joyce, left to right across the line. Joyce feathered one in front, but it was knocked away by Jakes. Still no score. 4 minutes gone in the first. Slivchenko needing a line change. He is belted by Labelle. Slivchenko a little late coming off, and boy, he felt the run of Labelle. I guess you could say he had his Labelle rug. Here's Tomlinson at center ice. Bring it across the line. Cutting in on goal. Great save, rebound. Dobson out, stretched the right foot, and makes a marvelous save. It's picked up by Freer. Mark Freer will skate the center ice with Turgeon Townsend. Freer across the line, busts it back. Turgeon shoots. Great save by Chabot. He will hold on. We'll take timeout. 15:32 to go in the first. No score. We'll be right back, but first, this word from Southwest Airlines.
Gotta Go's come in 2 kinds. Not so good.
That tooth has gotta go.
And good.
Got the flowers, Marc. Now, what
When are you sending you?
Well, for the good kind, Southwest Airlines has gotta go fares from $19 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
I'm real lonely.
But hurry, because the going isn't always this good.
Mom, I gotta go!
Southwest, the low-fare airline.
Texaco has joined the Aerofoils. It's time for you to experience Houston Aeros Pro Hockey, and Texaco has your ticket. Stop by participating Houston area Texaco locations. Fill up with 8 gallons of clean System 3 gasoline and get a special coupon for a free hockey ticket when you buy one. Available only at Texaco. Experience sticks swinging, pucks flying, bodies crashing with Houston Aeros Hockey today. Houston Aeros Pro Hockey and Texaco. Take it to the star.
Welcome back to the Summit. No score with 15:32 remaining in the first period, and a close one right off the bat as Dobson gets his foot over there, but the puck goes off the post, but the score remains tied at 0. I think if that puck would have been on net, Dobson might have got a piece of it, but a close call there right off the bat.
Face off to the right side of Freddie Chabot. You look at that stand screener. I mean, what is it? Does that really give him a lot of balance or what? He gets down to the ice.
Well, low center of gravity.
All right, here's a shot knocked in, and Chabot makes the glove save, and he will hold on.
Yeah, it is. It gives him a low center of gravity now. He doesn't play like that. That's how he takes the face off. You'll notice that once the puck's dropped, he straightens up a little bit and that stick comes up of it. You notice that when he has a stick really flat like that, you're actually taught not to do that. And during the play, he really doesn't play with his stick like that. But that's kind of his you know, in a golf swing or anything, there's a preset routine. Well, this is his preset routine, and it gets him ready for the face-off.
Krupke loads the gun, rips a shot from the point, knocked away. Kontos has it for Cincinnati. Looped it behind the net. Esau cleared to the near side, knocked away by Townsend. Trying to put it behind the net, but Chris Dahlquist is there. Knocked away Townsend, trying to move it ahead, but it's intercepted Scott Thomas. And the Cyclones clear it. Kontos at center. Shot it into the Aeros zone, and Laniel will go back to play it. 5 minutes gone in the first, no score, and we've got a whistle as the Cyclones, I believe, didn't clear the zone in time. That is offsides, and the face-off will come back to center. 15:01 to go in the first, no score. As a look at Al Hill, the associate coach. And tell you, he works along with Ron Smith, who has done a terrific job with the Cyclone hockey team.
Really has done a good job, and that's one thing we talked about is how big defense is on a team, and they've really put together a good defensive unit, and that's got them the best record in the IHL.
Off the face-off, and it's fired ahead. Mike Yeo shot it into the Cincinnati end. Dahlquist is there. It's looped into the corner. Centered. Yeo from the slot. Shoots! Great save by Chabot. He will hold on. So the Aeros have come out and at least put some pressure with a few good shots on Freddie Chabot, but he's been there to answer the call.
Well, it was a good play by Maurice jumping into the corner there, and if you were watching that or if you're listening your call, he went in there with some steam, and I tell you what, he laid the body on, and that's one of the things the Aeros have to do. You see Maurice lay the body, that leaves the puck loose for Conroy. Conroy just feeds it to Yeo, and Yeo couldn't get much on the shot because he was backing up, but it still gave him an opportunity, and if the Aeros continue that, they're going to get more chances.
Off the face-off, Cyclones have it. Dale DeGray is there. He'll loop it to the near side and get it out at center ice. Big collision as Don Biggs went down to the pond, and here is Yeo. Fired it into the Cincinnati zone. Back goes Dale DeGray. He'll move in behind the net away from Yeo. Turns to the fire side. Kicked away Conroy. It came back along the boards, and Brian Dobbin is there. Chipped it to the line. It's out at center ice. Maurice backhands it into the Cincinnati zone, and there is Dwayne Joyce. Ripped it along the boards. Near side Dobbin trying to move it ahead. Maurice feathered it away, and it's controlled by Dwayne Joyce. Joyce, he'll move it up and out of his zone. A pass at center, and it's fired into the Houston Arrowhead. Miles O'Connor is there. He dodged it. Don Biggs. Check puck was taken away, but the Aeros move it up and out of the zone. Donnelly, quick pass center ice. Slivchenko through the neutral zone. Hits the line. He's got Arneal cutting to the net. Slivchenko wrist shot blocked. Swatted away by Chabot. Dahlquist hooked down by Arneal, and a penalty coming up to Scott Arneal. 13:46 to go in the first, and Arneal is going to draw the hook.
Well, Dahlquist gets a puck behind the net, and he tries to wheel with it, and Arnie gets his stick hooked in the crook of his elbow a little bit and pulled him down. And so the Aeros will have to kill a penalty. The puck comes behind the net, and Arnie just gives a little tug, but Dahlquist goes down. It looks pretty harmless, but the call is made anyways. The Aeros are going to have to be strong. They're still trailing in the IHL in penalty killing at last in the league. And of course, Cincinnati is 4th in the league on power play at 20% or almost 21%. So you know that they're going to have to be pretty sharp on this penalty kill.
Face-off is at center ice as Arneal's in the box. 13:46 to go. No score, but Terry Ruskowski talked about the power play and the discipline factor of his team coming into tonight's game. He wanted him to play with some discipline because of this power play. They're 4th in the IHL while the Aeros penalty killing dead last. Cyclones fired it into the arrow end. First one there, Scott Thomas. Base of the right circle. Worked it through the check of Laniel. Here's Tomlinson, base of the left circle. He'll set the power play with 1:39 remaining in the penalty to Arneal. Tomlinson, left circle, cuts it down. Works the give and go, but instead was knocked off. Here is Dale DeGray. The shot blocked by Marc, but picked up by Lawless. Lawless skates one back to the line. Here's a chance. The drive knocked away, came to the near side into the corner. Tomlinson fell. Laniel scoots it ahead. It came back to the line for Dale DeGray. DeGray turns it down for Lawless. It was knocked away by Lamb and shot all the way down the ice.
Great penalty killing by Marc Lamb. First of all, he blocks a shot. And secondly, he intercepts another pass and dumps it all the way down the ice.
12:53 to go in the first. 1:07 remaining in the penalty to Arneal. Still no score. And here come the Cyclones left to right, winding their way into the arrow end. It is Kontos who fired it in. Dobson came out of the net, cleared to the line, not out. Held in by Joyce. Quickly looped it down for Biggs. Tipped it down Kontos. Back Biggs in the corner. Trying to move it for free. It came back to Kontos. And now along the hash marks, Biggs. He got it to the line. Here's the shot by DeGray, and it was knocked away. It's picked up by Biggs along the right side. Looks in front. Biggs wanted to center the pass. He'll hold on with a little over half a minute remaining on the power play. One-time shot by DeGray, and it's stuck aside by Dobson. And it's out of play. 12:20 to go in the first. No score. 34 seconds left to Scott Arneal.
I'll tell you what, DeGray's not afraid to shoot it. This Cincinnati team moves it around really well, and DeGray really lets one fly, and Dobson does a good job to steer it up over the glass. It's a good, low, hard shot, and he just deflects it, gets that stick at an angle so that it deflects it straight up over the glass. A smart play by Dobson because it gives his team a chance to get a change and get a rest, and it also nullifies any more pressure that the Cincinnati Cyclones were putting on.
Face off to the right side of Rob Dobson. Cyclones win the draw. Esau tipped one to the right side. Jeff Wells getting set on the power play for Esau. Top of the slot. Jammed it over for Wells. Wells watched by Yo. Worked it Kontos. Centered! Ooh, Dobson was a little off balance. And he's a little slow to get up. I hope he didn't pull anything. He kind of went down at an angle, but he looks over. Terry Scott says he's fine. Puck goes into the arrow end. It is Gord Krupke who's back. Fired it off the entrails of Mike Maurice, who's back after a bruised metatarsal in his foot. And it is Kontos at the line. Give it to Biggs. Cutting it on goal. Biggs, center, knocked away. Dobson, loose puck in front. Power play's over. Teams at 5 aside. Biggs, the shot. Stopped Krupke. Another drive by Dobbin high and wide of the net. And it is Miles O'Connor who will turn it around. O'Connor hard off the boards. It's out at center and back into the Cincinnati zone. Len Esau there, forechecked Arneal. Ripped it off the glass. It goes to the arrow end. And Jakes turns it around. Busting it across the line around Hawkins. Here's Jakes. Centered for Lamb. Knocked away, and Labelle was there and cleared to center. Hawkins with a couple of guys to beat. Hits the line. Looks for the shot. Instead, passed it back for Macdonald. Spins right around Maurice. Dropped it. Joyce shoots. Stopped by Dobson. And the rebound comes right to Marc Lamb. Aeros, Cyclones, no score. 11 minutes to go in the first. Puck in the arrow end. Donnelly scoops it away. He'll roll with the puck over to the far side. Now Jakes hit it out at center, and Mike Maurice starts the rush right to left across the line. Maurice into the slot. The wrist shot blocked. Here's Lamb cutting in, but can't find the angle to get the shot away. He's crushed into the corners by Joyce. And Marc Labelle is there. Labelle, he'll jump down the left side. Quick rink right pass for Macdonald. Doug Macdonald hits the line, trying to move around Laniel. Macdonald looking in, lets the wrist shot go, and that's rejected by Dobson. Kick to the far corner. Townsend bumps his man, and it's picked up by Houston. 10:28 to go in the first, still no score. Good start to this hockey game for both squads. Freer right side, shoots it into the Cincinnati zone. Chabot slows it, and Chris Dahlquist is there. Dahlquist turning in behind the net. He'll move it up the boards and a pass at center. And Tomlinson fired it ahead for Shahaki. Knocked away. Shahaki held it in. Here is Lawless. Shoots! Ripped it wide of the net. It came back to the point, and it's right back out at center ice. Jeff Wells pass to Dahlquist. Give it to Shahaki. Shoots it into the arrow zone. Bounce to the near corner. And Laniel is there. Turned it to the near side. Turgeon tried to clear it, but Laniel was right there. Sylvain Turgeon playing some terrific hockey offensively for the Aeros. A 6-game point streak coming into tonight as the puck is shot down the ice. No icing as the Cyclones go back. It is controlled by Jeff Wells. He'll move it up and out at center ice. It goes into Houston Aero territory, and O'Connor is there. 9:30 to go, first period. Still no score. Puck at center ice. Kellyard snapped one to Conwood. Boy, we haven't had but a couple of whistles, and that's fast-paced. Here is a shot right on. Dobson makes the save. Rebound Biggs. Protected by Dobson again. And then O'Connor trying to get it out of harm's way. Don Biggs had a marvelous chance, as well as Jeff Greenlaw. Puck is tied up. Finally, a whistle stop play. He will take time out. 9:12 to go in the first. No score from the Summit. These are your Houston Aeros.
Over the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Here are 3 more new choices that make it easier for you to drive an incredibly sophisticated 96 Dodge Stratus. Choose $500 cash savings, or an interest rate as low as 1.9%. Or choose a Stratus lease rate of only $229 per month. The Dodge Buyer's Choice Sale.
See your Texas Dodge dealer today.
I believe people today are tired of large, unfriendly banks.
I want a bank that understands my needs.
They're looking for a smaller, more flexible bank.
I want instant cash. That's why I like Break the Bank.
No paperwork, no credit check. Just scratch off a winning ticket and you can get up to $30,000. And with Break the Bank, you never have to pay it back.
We may be small, but with over 20 million winners, we can serve all of Texas. For everything you want in a bank, play Break the Bank.
Still no score here at the Summit, but a close one. Dobson makes a couple good saves as Jeff Greenlaw breaks around and gets a shot. Dobson squeezes the pad, but he makes another save on the toe. And great job by Dobson as O'Connor finally clears the puck and freezes the puck along the boards.
Cincinnati 8-4 in the shot department as the puck is in the Aero end. 9:07 to go in the first. Puck is knocked free. O'Connor spins one to Yo, worked it to the line. DeGray knocked it free, and Brian Dobbin regroups at center ice. Dobbin shoots it into Houston Aero territory. Dobson slows, and Miles O'Connor is there. Puck is cleared to the line. Here's the drive by Esau, stopped by Dobson. Loose in front, they bang away at it, but they can't get it on goal. And Arneal will turn and clear to center. DeGray looped one around. It came into the Aero end, but it's blasted away by O'Connor. Heads up, that goes sailing into the Cincinnati bench. We take another timeout. 8.5 to go. No score in the first period. Back after this.
Maybe you've always seen yourself in a new Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 185 horsepower engine, improved suspension, and dual airbags. But maybe you've never seen one fitting into your budget. So maybe you'll be surprised to see, for $399 monthly, one can. The easy-to-own Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now, if you can see it in your head, you can see it in your driveway.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
The 1996 Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. The Colorado Buffaloes, led by head coach Rick Neuheisel and quarterback John Hessler, have trampled all others for a coveted place in Dallas, Texas. Their opponents, the Oregon Ducks. Building on last year's Rose Bowl appearance, they continue to assert their power in the Pac-10. Come watch 2 of the nation's most dynamic teams battle for one of college football's major prizes. Be a part of the Cotton Bowl tradition. Order your tickets today. Call 214-638-BOWL.
No score at the Summit with 8:37 left in the first period. But someone who's been doing a lot of work lately is Marc Lamb. He's named the first Aero ever named IHL Player of the Week. He had 3 goals, 7 assists for 10 points in 4 games. And I tell you what, he really racked up some nice points in a few games there. Did a great job, and he was honored for it.
We should mention, though, he's the first Aero IHL Player of the Week, but we did have Dobson as the goaltender of the week. There is a difference, folks. We should mention that. Tell you, Dauber was very close after last week. I think if it weren't for the Kansas City game, if he could have pitched a good one there, I think he would have had it. I got to be honest with you. All right, puck's at center ice. Cyclones have it. Wells fired it into the Aero zone. A scoreless game with 8:19 to go. Puck goes in deep, but they're going to blow it dead as the puck was hit with a high stick, and I think that'll bring the face-off in the Aero zone. I think the Aeros were the team that hit it.
You know, a couple good chances on that last play, and that's because the Aeros were firing the puck up the boards, and that's exactly what Cincinnati wants, because they're just trapping the puck, stopping it at the blue line, and feeding it down low again. I think the Aeros have to get a little more uniform force, uniform play coming out of the zone, and then chip it out to center if they need to get it out. But right now, they're just feeding the puck along the boards, and that's right to Cincinnati's liking.
Face off to the left side of Rob Dobson. Lamb against Tomlinson, but Lamb tossed out of the circle. And Arneal will come in. Sticks down, drop of the puck, and it's turned around by Lamb. He'll move one out at center ice, and here comes Slivchenko busting down the left side. Slivchenko moving in, looks for the pass, cuts right in center, just missing Arneal. And the puck comes out in front, Lamb, over to Laniel, shoots, deflected, loose in front, and it's poked away by the Cyclone defense. It is played by Slivchenko, poked it out in front. Arneal's got Slivy right in front, but the pass came just behind him. And a penalty coming up to the Houston Aeros, a delayed call. It'll go down the ice, Dobson will play it, and a penalty coming up to Houston as Marc Lamb got tangled with Dave Tomlinson, and the Aeros are going to be short-handed.
Well, Marc Lamb doesn't like that call as they get tangled up. Tomlinson goes down, and as you see Terry throwing out the penalty kill unit on the ice. But deep in the corner, Tomlinson picking up the par. Sorry, not Tomlinson. Tomlinson's getting tripped right now as Lamb's trying to get to the defenseman on Cincinnati. And I think that was a pretty good call by the ref. But right before that, chance as Slivchenko feeds it across the crease, but a good job on defense by Scott Thomas holding up Scott Arneal. And then another shot by Laniel that didn't quite get through. So the Aeros getting some pressure, just not a concerted effort.
Lawless starts the power play to the right side center one. It ricocheted away as it hits skates, and Maurice flings it along the boards. That'll go right back out at center ice. 7:28 to go in the first, no score. DeGray scampers through the neutral zone, knocked away by Maurice, but DeGray got it back for Cincinnati and shoots it into Aero territory. It is O'Connor, fired one off the glass, and that goes out of play. 7:17 to go. First period, still no score, 1:34 left in the minor to Marc Lamb.
The Aeros have killed off one penalty so far tonight, and Marc Lamb is the second player called tonight on a penalty. The Aeros did a really good job last penalty kill. We'll see if they can do it again. You know, it's funny, I don't necessarily recall other teams scoring a lot of goals on their power play, but the Aeros still rank last in the league in penalty kills, so I'm not sure. They just numbers wise.
Off the face-off, Aeros win the draw. O'Connor spins one to Mike Maurice, couldn't clear the zone. It came back into the corner. Cyclones have it, Biggs right side centered. Ooh, went off skates of Krupke, but the Aeros are able to blast it all the way down the ice. 1:20 remaining in Marc Lamb's penalty. Len Esau goes back to play it with a scoreless hockey game. Exactly 7 minutes to go in the first period. And it's Len Esau through the neutral zone. Tipped one ahead for Biggs. It was chipped away by Yo, but again jumped on by DeGray. Makes his move around O'Connor, but that extra move through the Cyclones. Offsides. You know, Greener, I was talking to Terry Ruskowski before tonight's game, and I asked Roscoe, I said, you know, with the power play, Kelly Hurd's the kind of guy that with his one-time shot and just as good shot in general, will we see Kelly Hurd on the power play? He said the only reason we didn't see him on the road was because he never really had a chance to practice it and learn the system. He said, depending on how things go, we might see Kelly Hurd on the power play.
And we also have to mention that the Aeros power play is just the line. They just throw a line out there. They don't throw a specific group of players. They throw the line that is the next line out almost to get out on the power play, and they've worked well together.
Yeah, about the last 4 weeks, that was something that him and Al Conroy were talking about, and it's worked reasonably well since they started doing that. Goes into the arrow end. We're under a minute in the penalty to Marc Lamb. 6:33 to go in the first. No score in the hockey game. Joyce, right point shot deflected away by Conroy, and that thing will flail all the way up and into the crowd, and it's a souvenir.
You know, you talked about Al Conroy and Terry Ruskowski. They both talked about doing this, and it has jumped the Aeros power play up a couple spots to 15th in the league at 16%.
You know, Pizza Hut delivers Houston Aeros hockey. You can order a pizza from Pizza Hut and have it delivered to your home. You'll receive a coupon good for 4 Aeros tickets, 4 personal pan pizzas, and 4 60-ounce soft drinks for just $40 right here at the Summit. Pizza Hut, delivering hot stuff for hockey fans. Puck goes down into the Cincinnati zone. Wayne Joyce plays it in behind the net, and from left to right he'll come. Joyce out at center ice, looks for the pass down the right side, but instead rips it into the Aero zone. Dobson slows in behind the net. Tomlinson fighting for it with Donnelly. It's poked to the near side. Joyce. It's looped along. They blast away at it. Good battle for the puck. Yo knocked it free, and Jakes is there. Hammers it along the boards, but it was held in nicely by Jeff Wells. That was a bouncing puck, but he held it in. Along the far side, we've got a whistle, and I think they're going to call it a hand pass. And they'll move the face-off to center ice. 5:54 to go. in the first. No score in the hockey game. There's a good look at Scott Thomas for the Cyclones, and he's one of those guys that's just a good role player, Greener. He'll get you the good offensive output, but he also plays some terrific defense as well.
He certainly does as a two-way player, and he does put some points on the boards. He has 13 goals, 10 assists for 23 points, and so a player like that is a kind. You know, sometimes you need a one faceted player, but a guy like that you need a lot of, and that is a player that does it all.
Puck is controlled by Houston. They'll shoot it down. There's 5 seconds left to Marc Lamb, and then the teams will be back at 5 aside. Len Esau, who nearly turned the puck over. It came to center, but the Aeros have killed off the other power play. That's 0 for 2 now. Cincinnati on the man advantage. Maurice tried to snap a pass ahead at center. It came to Lamb. Rink wide for Arneal. Arneal rips the shot. Score!
Or not, I think for sure that Chabot was screened. You know, Chabot from a shot that far out normally wouldn't drop to his knees. He does like the butterfly, but Arneal just lets one rip. And you know what? This didn't touch anything but net as it just went over top of Chabot's shoulder. His own defenseman was screening him, and wow, did Arneal ever let that one go? I think he's mad at somebody.
And me.
I haven't seen
for saying he doesn't have a shot.
I swear I've seen him shoot the puck all season, and he really hasn't let any go like that. And now that he does, he really gets a good goal right over top of Chabot's shoulder, and it's 1-0 Aeros.
We were talking all year, me especially, about, you know, he's got the accurate shot, but doesn't have the hard shot. And I think he was a little upset that I said that. So Arnie, I take it back. Terrific shot, terrific goal. And I'll buy the first round. Puck is held in. A shot right on. Dobson makes the glove save, and here is Miles O'Connor. It comes to the near side, Arneal, but it's knocked away. Macdonald right in on goal. Shoot! Scores! Doug Macdonald answers with a goal, and the game is tied at 1.
Well, that all came from a mix-up at the blue line. O'Connor fed the pass up the wing, and I think it might have been in Arneal's feet a little bit, and it's turned over, and I tell you what, Macdonald steps into the dot, and he just lets one rise right up underneath the bar, and that's a tough save to make as Dobson's fully extended there and still can't get his glove on it as the puck just jumps over his shoulder. But the puck comes out. Lamb's already left the zone, and I tell you what, just a good hard snapshot. It hits the bar, drops right down in the net, and all of a sudden it's a tie game.
Laniel works the pass to Gordonley, and it's taken away. Dobbins on a breakaway. Right in, centered, score! It is Jeff Greenlaw, and like that, Cincinnati takes advantage of 2 Aero turnovers and lead it 2-1.
Terry probably is disgusted to see that after such a good defensive game so far, that the Aeros give up 2 goals that they really probably shouldn't have. The first one was a little bit of a turnover, and here's another turnover as Dobbin gets his just a stick in there, and Dobbin just walks down, fakes a shot, and then passes it across. Greenlaw has nothing but the 5-hole to shoot at, and he puts it there, and all of a sudden it's a 2-1 game. Cyclones lead.
Here's Gord Donnelly back in behind the net. He'll snap the puck out at center ice, and it's jumped on by Greer across the line with Turgeon, and it's jammed away, and the Cyclones are off to the races. Biggs 2-on-1 with Greenlaw, right in, score! Jeff Greenlaw, 3-1 Cincinnati.
Wow, I'm gonna have to time the 2 goals. Greenlaw only has 3 goals this year. Coming into this game, and now he has 5. He has scored 2 goals in it has to be less than a minute. And I tell you what, the Aeros just fell apart. 3 goals unanswered right here as it's a 2-on-1, and he just finds the 5-hole again, and Greenlaw likes that spot. Obviously, he scored 2 goals in about 25-30 seconds here. Just a great pass by Biggs feeding him, and he has nothing but net between the legs of Dobson. And I tell you what, the Aeros have really dropped here in the last couple minutes to allow 3 goals unanswered.
They've gone right out of their game plan. 2 turnovers, and then they got caught up ice on that last one, and poor Dauber hasn't had really any help on the last 2. Here comes Yo backing down the left side. The shot goes wide of the net, and it's Lawless, cleared to the line, not out. Aeros turn it around. Krupke fired it deep, but it is Dahlquist to Scott Thomas, and it's back out at center ice. O'Connor wrestling away Thomas, and Kelly Hurt is there. Here is Dahlquist, ripped one in, a glove save made by Dobson. He'll turn it in behind the net. It'll bounce to the near side for Yo. It's pushed away. Tomlinson trying to center one, but Conroy was there, And he'll fire it along the boards, pinching Dahlquist. And now it is Kelly Hurd. He'll romp the center ice. Hurd, a pass, Conroy moves it through the neutral zone. 3-on-3, Conroy across the line. Conroy looking in, circles back toward the point, lets his shot go blocked. Loose. Kelly Hurd was being held on the play, but no call. Here come the Cyclones, 3-on-3. Lawless to Tomlinson. Back for Lawless, but it was blocked by Jakes and cleared down the ice. 3:18 to go. And the Aeros, who jumped out to a 1-0 lead, have a turnover. O'Neill, the shot is blocked by Chabot. Centered, but it was tipped away. It is Jakes trying to move it down the left side. The Aeros had a 1-0 lead, but have squandered 3 unanswered goals in about a minute's time. Here is Slivchenko. Shoots, and he ripped it wide of the net. So the Aeros trying to come back here. It is Jakes. The shot deflected right on by Chabot. Loose puck, and Chabot will cover up, and he will hold on. Timeout on the ice. 2:55 to go in the first. Cyclones lead at 3-1. Back after this.
Is a superstar spokesman what makes Oshman's Super Sports USA?
Dream on.
Oshman's is supersized and super fun. Why, you can play your favorite sport right in the store. Shoot hoops, hit golf balls, swing a bat or a racket, or get your kick to 100 other fun ways. Think there's a more super sports store than Oshman's Super Sports?
In your dreams.
The dream starts at Oshman's with 13 Houston area locations.
Some players will set records. Others will break them. Doubles and triples, down the line, or into the stands. The hits just keep on coming. Jeff Bagwell. This is Star Power. Come on, Houston, step up to the plate. For 96 Astros season tickets, call 799-9567.
Astros baseball, Star Power.
Aeros had a 1-0 lead, trail at 3-1. Terry Ruskowski all of a sudden has seen his team self-destruct. Kind of looks like the Coyote chasing the Roadrunner, and they run into that dynamite there.
Well, I tell you what, they were playing a good defensive game. Everything was good. They scored 1 goal. All of a sudden, it's like they forgot the system and just turned right around, and Cincinnati scored 3 goals unanswered really quick.
And they lead it 3-1. Off the face-off, Cyclones have it. Dale DeGray. He'll snap one to Shahaki to the line, not out. Laniel held it in, trying to turn it for Arneal. That's feathered away, and Esau smokes it down the ice. They're going to call it icing as Jakes will hustle back to play it, and they'll bring the face-off back into the Cincinnati zone with 2:41 to play in the first. 3-1 Cincinnati.
So now Steve Jakes and the rest of the Aeros find themselves playing a little bit of catch-up again, and you have to realize that the Cincinnati Cyclones have not allowed more than 4 goals in 1 game all season long, and that's a pretty amazing stat. They've allowed 4 goals 7 times, 3 goals 11 times, 2 goals 8 times, 1 goal 6 times, and have had 1 shutout this year. And I tell you what, when a team that doesn't allow more than 4 goals, they're going to, in order for the Aeros to win, they're going to have to just shut them down the rest of the way and pop in 3 themselves.
Face off to the left side of Freddie Chabot, and the Cyclones win the draw to Gray. There's one near side. Shahaki moves to center ice, and 3-on-3 they come. A pass off the skates of Kontos, and it's turned around Lamb. Quick pass, Slivchenko moving down the right side. Moves in, waits, turns, shoots! Oh, what a shot! It went just wide, and a penalty coming up to Cincinnati. It's going to be interference, and we'll get our first look at the Aero power play. 2:24 to go in the first. 3-1 Cyclones, but the Aeros with a marvelous chance by Slivchenko a moment ago.
Slivchenko makes a great move, and he seems to lose the puck right when he gets to the crease, because I think that's where it happened right there as the puck goes off his backhand. A great angle right here as Slivchenko has a lot of room, and
he did lose it.
He just runs out of room, and the puck goes off his stick, and a great opportunity squandered there, but they'll get some more as they go on the power play. The Aeros so far this year are 16% on the power play, but at home, they are last in the league at home at 8.4%. We'll have to see what they can do on this one.
Freer, Townsend, Turgeon with O'Connor and Lamb. And anytime you got a line combination like that, this is something the Aeros are looking forward to, try and get them back into this hockey game, but they lose the face-off, and Cincinnati shoots it down the ice.
It's really quite amazing because the Aeros on the road are second in the league on power play at 25%, but at home they're last. It's like a home and away thing, and I can't quite understand it.
No, they've played just horrible at home this year, but away from the Summit, they've played some good hockey. Here's the puck that's shot out at center ice, and O'Connor turns it around. Miles O'Connor at his own blue line. Aeros turn it. Here's Turgeon, right side. He'll bring it across the line. The pass intercepted by Joyce. Right back out at center.
And as Tyra really because of lack of support. There's always a good number of fans in this building cheering him on.
It is Freer left side, starts the power play. Freer cuts it down for Townsend. Graham Townsend in behind that center, turn shot, kicked away, loose puck. Feathered away by Graham Townsend. Back for Lamb. Nice pass, but too far for O'Connor. But he went to gather it in, give it to Freer, base of the right circle. He's hit into the boards by Wells, but the Aeros have it. O'Connor, the shot deflected, blocked in front, and Biggs will scoop it down the ice. 1 minute remaining in the Len Esau penalty. Aeros trail 3-1. We're down to 1:20 the period. Lamb pass for Turgeon, bumped off the puck, and the Cyclones come short-handed. Labelle trying to move through Lamb. Labelle had it taken away by Lamb, and here comes Slivchenko with some room. Slivchenko, right side, moving in, cuts it over for Arneal. Looks for the pass in front. It came to Conroy behind the cage. Gives to Arneal. Scott Arneal feathered one. It was blocked by Dahlquist into the corner. Cyclones have it but lose it. Marc Lamb at the point with 28 on the power play. Here is Slivchenko. Waiting, teed it up, faked the shot, get it to Arneal. Back to Slivchenko at the hash marks, right side. Back Arneal, he's got Conroy in front. Oh, what a save by Chabot. He was put right in front there as Conroy fired one in there. Puck came down low behind the cage for Conroy. Conroy turning base left circle center. Good timer by Slivchenko, band on, and then he's hooked off the puck. But no call, and it's out at center ice. Back goes Laniel, but the penalty is over. Teams at 5 aside. Laniel turning in his own zone. Ripped one ahead, knocked away Tomlinson. He tried to feather the pass ahead, and now it's picked up by Cincinnati. Tomlinson busting in on goal. Makes the move. Score! Dave Tomlinson, it's 4-1 Cincinnati.
Wow, I tell you what a move Tomlinson makes. And it's not something the Aeros want to do, is give up a shorthanded goal, and they do that with, it was even, but they do it with 9.5 seconds left in the period, and it's really it looks like a harmless play, but he pulls it forehand, backhand, and he beats both Jakes and Dobson, as it's not the kind of goal that either one of them wants to give up. Makes a great move though and fires it 5-hole, and Tomlinson has his 18th goal of the season.
Here come the Aeros. Maurice gets by Joyce, but they're going to whistle it dead on the offsides with 6 seconds remaining. And Rob Dobson with his head down a little bit at the other end, and he knows he probably could have had that one, but the other 3 you can't really fault him on. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Terry Ruskowski goes ahead and puts in Troy Gamble in the second period.
You know, and it doesn't matter as you look at Dave Tomlinson making a great move on the play. It doesn't matter though. A goaltender always will tell himself, I could have had that, I could have had that, I could have had that, especially a competitor like Rob Dobson. So whether he thinks that he shouldn't have been scored on or not, he still thinks he should have had it because he's a competitor, and so that's why he probably is not feeling as good as he could, as they're trailing 4-1 after 1 period.
Boy, what happened in that first period? That's going to be a tough one to digest for everybody in the white after they came out, killed off 2 Cincinnati power plays, and right after Scott Arneal gets a goal, and that was the worst thing that could have happened because it fired Cincinnati up, and they rattle off 4 unanswered goals, 3 in a matter of about a minute or so, and they lead it by a score of 4-1. We'll have more from the Summit right after this.
When you need an auto part, you don't need to search high and low.
I'd never been to an auto parts store before.
A friend said she'd save money doing it herself.
I never would have thought I'd change a headlight.
I told her it was a lot easier than it looked.
The high-low guy told me how, step by step.
Knew she could do it.
Knew I could do it.
She could get a headlight anywhere. What she needed was high-low.
From Emery to Jackie to RC, from the wishbone to the birth of the 12th man team to the wrecking crew. Relive the greatest plays, games, and players in the new video Domination in College Station, the modern era of Texas A&M football. The video, a must for all Aggie fans. To order your official Domination in College Station video for only $24.95, call 1-800-903-7803. That's 1-800-903-7803.
It's their turf, it's their world, it's their game. And when we don't play by their rules, the results can be deadly. From the creator of the award-winning television series Wild America comes a home video unlike anything you've ever seen. These are nature's dangerous encounters, captured in one of the most astonishing wildlife films ever made, and available now for the first time as a special 1-hour home video. Call this toll-free number now to get Dangerous Encounters for just $19.95. It is not available in stores. Order now, and you'll also receive Watching Wildlife absolutely free. That's right. Both of these extraordinary programs are yours for just $19.95. Call now.
For rush delivery, get your credit card ready and call 1-800-531-7733. That's 1-800-531-7733, or send your check or money order to the address on your screen. Call now.
Cyclones, well, their name pretty well describes that period. Whirlwind, 4 goals, lead at 4-1. After 20 minutes of action, ladies and gentlemen, Diamond Cutters International and the Houston Aeros are proud to present the $1 Million Puck. That's right, a puck made out of platinum and completely covered with 171 carats of pure white diamonds and 4 carats of emeralds. And you can win it at select Aeros home games. One fan will be chosen to shoot on goal and win the $1 Million Puck. And you got to see it to believe it. And we're going to go right to center ice right now as we've got Paula White. She is going to shoot for $1 million. If she can put it into the open hole at the other end, which is barely the size of a puck, she's got herself the $1 Million Puck. Here we go. Tees it up. She's got good form here. Looks like she's ready to let her fly on the 12th hole. Lets it fly, and yep, she went further than the puck did, but a nice effort by Paula White. So the shot comes up short, but a nice effort for Paula. And she does not come up with $1 Million Puck, but a nice try anyway. All right, it is 4-1 in favor of Cincinnati, and when we return, for those of you on Prime Sports, we'll throw it to Kevin in the clubhouse, and when we also come back on 950 KPRC, Greener and I'll have some thoughts about that first period back after this.
Nothing warms a heart like beautiful diamond and gold jewelry from I.W. Marc's Jewelers, which is why we're offering great winter savings on the Southwest's largest and finest selection of diamond and gold jewelry. The annual winter sale, now at I.W. Marc's Jewelers, a Houston tradition for great value and service. Come see us. We're 3841 Beller Boulevard at Stella Link, inside Loop 610.
There's a new team in town.
For equal time and for me, we have hit the mother lode.
And they're heating up the hill with a new style.
But I just want to hear you say that that deficit is lower than it was projected when Clinton took office.
The numbers are not real numbers.
And a new look at the Beltway.
I'm in a Democratic sandwicher.
Equal time with Mary Matalin and Dee Dee Myers. Weeknights only on CNBC, first in talk.
Hi, I'm Leslie Goodell. Start off your holiday weekend with a visit to the press box. We'll show you a big night in college hoops with number 1 and number 2 in action, plus all the NBA highlights, including the Knicks at the O-Arena. It's all tonight on Press Box.
We'll have the eyes set behind it. They try to run the reverse. Good block.
There's no other football like it. High school football. The Texas Bowl 5A Division II Championship, Saturday at noon on Prime Sports. Texaco has joined the Aero Force. It's time for you to experience Houston Aeros Pro Hockey, and Texaco has your ticket. Stop by participating Houston area Texaco locations. Fill up with 8 gallons of clean System 3 gasoline and get a special coupon for a free hockey ticket when you buy one. Available only at Texaco. Experience sticks swinging, pucks flying, bodies crashing with Houston Aeros Hockey today. Houston Aeros Pro Hockey and Texaco. Take it to the star.
Hi everybody, Kevin Eschenfelder with you here in the clubhouse. Cyclones leading it right now 4-1 over the Houston Aeros. Elsewhere tonight in the IHL, this is the way the scoreboard looks. Atlanta and Cleveland leading it right now 4-2 in the second period, 6.5 minutes to go in the second. Fort Wayne is on top of Minnesota 1-0, 10 minutes to go in the first. Orlando and Milwaukee 2 apiece, 5 minutes of the first period. Tonight in the IHL, the game just now getting underway. Detroit is at Chicago. Kansas City playing host to Peoria. In the Intermountain region, Utah hosting Los Angeles. And out west, Michigan will take on San Francisco. NBA tonight, our feature matchup, New York Knicks and the Orlando Magic. That means Patrick going against Shaq. But on this play, really no contest. Shaq Daddy with the fadeaway. Nothing but cotton. Watch the loose ball. Orlando playing hard. Nick Anderson with the jam. Starks trying to keep New York close, but not doing a very good job of it. It's been all Orlando as Starks nails the three-pointer, but watch the daddy. Orlando up by 19 points after one. Just get out of his way. Smart move. Harper's been around long enough. 13 points in the first quarter for Shaq, 5 for Patrick Ewing. And right now Orlando leads it by 20, 45-20. Elsewhere tonight, Indiana knocks off Dallas 90-79. Pacers have now won 6 of their last 7. Dallas has lost 4 straight and 8 of their last 9. New Jersey and Atlanta, it'd only be fitting if this game ended in a tie. It won't. 45 all at halftime. Nets trying to avoid a 4-game skid. Hawks have lost 5 of their last 6 at the Omni. Boston on top of Minnesota by 7 at halftime. T-Wolves have lost 4 straight, but you tend to do that when you're 6-16. Detroit on top of Miami at Miami by 10, 44-34 at halftime. Pistons going for their 3rd straight win. Philadelphia on top of Milwaukee 52-47. And Chicago going for their 12th straight win, leading the Raptors 16-10. 4-1 the count at the Summit. We go back for the second period in a moment.
Inside every one of us is an athlete with a thirst for the game going on around us. It's life. And if you play hard at it, you get thirsty. That's why we make Gatorade. Hey, life is a sport. Drink it up.
It's a vacuum light.
It's been done. It's revolutionary. It's been done. It's been done.
Next. It's Southwestern Bell Services, with the latest communication products and services, plus friendly, helpful people, all in one place.
It's been done. Southwestern Bell, I've got a great idea for you.
Southwestern Bell Services, the store with a familiar ring to it.
Prime Deportiva, the first and foremost 24-hour sports channel totally in Spanish. Greatest soccer stars, leagues, and tournaments from all corners of the globe are on Prime Deportiva every day. The best professional bouts, the finest basketball, baseball, football, and tennis. The full spectrum of sports, all in Spanish, all on Prime Deportiva. If Prime Deportiva is not part of your basic cable service, contact your local cable operator right now.
Every now and then, somebody in Texas grows up to be famous. To get a fair shot at life, babies need critical immunizations against dangerous diseases. Vaccines are safe and effective. So see your doctor or public health clinic and immunize your little Texan by 2. In Texas, every child is somebody famous.
It's a 4-1 hockey game after 20 minutes of play from the Summit. Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenlay, and I guess really self-destruct is about the only thing I can describe come up with a word that describes what happened to the Houston Aeros in that period.
They really did fall apart, and I'm not sure why. I mean, it started with one, and it was like a domino effect, and everything just kind of fell apart, and that doesn't help the Aeros any, as they have to climb back out of a 4-1 deficit.
And you know, the thing is I don't think we've been really fair to Cincinnati also. This is a team, you're playing with fire when you're playing with Cincinnati. If you get out of your game plan like the Aeros did at Cincinnati, I think just showed what happens when you don't stick to your game plan.
Well, certainly they're deep in every area of the game, but I tell you what, their leading scorer, Don Biggs, is 16th in the leagues in scoring, so they don't have one guy that's really doing it. They have a whole bunch of guys that pitch in here and there, and I tell you what, they all pitched in that period.
All right, and that takes us to the highlights. You know, the Aeros take the lead first, and it would be a nice blast from Scott Arneal.
Yeah, nothing touched this puck, and except Arneal's stick, and it went right up in the top corner over Chabot because he was screened. You can see the defenseman dropping, and he just couldn't see the puck come off Arneal's stick, and that led Aeros 1-0.
11th goal of the year for Arneal at 14:34, but here it comes for Houston. All kinds of trouble.
Well, Arneal loses the puck, and Lamb can't gather it. Macdonald just walks in with a good little snapshot, and it's kind of flutters, but it hits the bar and drops straight down, and that tied the game.
Tied it at 1, and then another look at the big goal by Macdonald, as you say, rattled right off the crossbar and in. That's a big goal, and Doug Macdonald gets his 6th of the year unassisted after that turnover at 15:03, and the game was tied at 1, but the Cyclones were not done.
Well, the floodgates really opened. Here you have a stick check by Dobbin, and it was a good job. Donnelly, I don't know why he was carrying the puck up there without passing, but Dobbin just slips the puck over to Greenlaw, and Greenlaw just fires it 5-hole as Dobson has to open up to come across the net like that, and it made it 2-1.
And for those of you watching on Prime Sports, another look at it. And again, for the second time, Dobson hung out to dry. Greenlaw, his 3rd goal at 15-16. Dobbin, the only assist, and the Cyclones lead at 2-1. They're not done. 21 seconds later, here comes Greenlaw again with Biggs.
Well, it looks like a carbon copy play, but it pretty much is the same thing, except this time it's Biggs feeding Greenlaw. Greenlaw feeds the puck, and I tell you what, from both angles, it looks like the identical goal, except it happens a little farther out as he just feeds the puck. Same spot. That's 2 goals in a row for Greenlaw, and that made it 3-1.
3 goals by Cincinnati in a matter of 34 seconds, and the Aeros had settled things down, but not enough until with about 6 or 7 seconds remaining, Tomlinson made it 4-1.
He certainly did. He made a great move on Jakes, and he pulled Jakes aside, and then he flipped the puck between Dobson's legs on a backhand. And not a shot you see used very often, but it works here for Tomlinson. It actually was a pretty good hard shot, and that made it 4-1 at the end of the period.
18th of the year for Dave Tomlinson with 10 seconds remaining, and the Cyclones lead it by a score of 4-1. Freddie Chabot really never tested in that period, although he had a couple where he was tested and came up very nicely. In fact, you do got to give the Aeros some credit. On their power play, they came back, they put a little pressure on him, but the Cyclones handled it well.
Well, they certainly did, and that's because they're the best defensive team in the league. So, I mean, in order to break something like that, you have to take care of your own end first and then jump on them.
All right, 4-1 Cincinnati, second period action when we return. We'll be right back.
I'm a football coach.
So he's a very loyal KTRH listener, especially KTRH Sports.
Listening to the Oiler games on KTRH is like having seats on the 50-yard line.
And he takes his radio to the Rockets games, too.
KTRH Sports Beat has great one-on-one interviews. It's more than just scores.
I listen to 740 KTRH in the morning to plan my day.
KTRH gives us all the news, traffic, and weather information we need in the morning.
News radio really goes that extra mile to keep us informed.
Hear it first. News Radio 740 KTRH.
Prime Sports on ice.
Hatcher takes the man, the puck comes out front. A spectacular strolling save.
The Blackhawks and Stars, Saturday at 7, live on Prime Sports. Everything's bigger in Texas, and nothing's larger in the Lone Star State than high school sports. Prime Sports High School Extra and host Craig Wade bring all the action right into your living room.
On the Extra, Sundays at 9:30 and 6:30, only on Prime Sports.
Cyclones lead it by a score of 4-1, and we'll take a quick look at our stats of the first period. They're brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers. 13-8. The Cyclones outshoot the Houston Aeros 15-11 in the face-off department. But really, those stats, the only stat that matters is that top one that says goal 4-1. And again, we had speculated that that would be all for Rob Dobson, and indeed it is. Troy Gamble will come in, Mike Greenlay, and try and stop the bleeding a little bit.
Well, Gams is going to come in, and hopefully the guys will rally around him. He is 5-12-0 this year, with an 86 save percentage and a 4.5 average. And you know, he's coming off that injury, so it'll be his first game back for a little while. Hopefully the guys will give him some support, give him some confidence. The guys maybe can come back into this one and you know, try and get things going here. I tell you what, though, the only way they're going to do it is by taking care of their own end first, because Cincinnati's too explosive to allow something like that.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, there's this interesting story about Troy Gamble, and that is this will be his first game with his new contact lenses. And, you know, you look at the struggles he had in the early part of the season, a lot of fighting the puck, and he just quite frankly probably couldn't pick it up. So perhaps something could be said to the fact that if he comes out, plays very well, that maybe the contacts are going to help him.
Well, you know, sometimes you might pick up the puck a little quicker out of a screen or something like that. And, you know, sometimes guys find that contacts and things like that are a pain to try and wear, but he's going to try and wear them because he used to have contacts, but he threw them out. So I think he's going to try and go with them now.
You can't put the blame on that guy, Rob Dobson. Came in, played his heart out. Yeah, you can always question some of the saves he should have had, but when you're left hung to dry like he was for those 4 goals, kind of hard to blame the goaltending there. So they'll make the goaltending change, and here come the Cyclones leading 4-1, and they started off with a 3-on-2 rush, but it's pushed away by Krupke. And Krupke will turn it over for Miles O'Connor in his own end. O'Connor bounced one to the line, but it's turned over, but Labelle couldn't handle it. And here come the Aeros. Townsend down the right side across the Cincinnati line. He's bumped into the boards. Turgeon checked by Esau. Here's Freer that centered one. It was blocked by Chabot. And he will cover up and hold on with 30 seconds gone in the second period. 4-1 Cincinnati. I'll tell you, this is a big game for the Houston Aeros, Mike Greenlay, because, you know, you look in the Eastern Conference's Northern Division, Cincinnati starts things off with a 24-5-4 record, the best record in the IHL. And then in the Central Division for Houston, 5 points back of Atlanta. Atlanta is playing tonight. Atlanta, they are on the road in Cleveland. And if they win, and if this score remains the same, the Aeros will be back to that 7-point deficit.
And right now, at the end of the first period, Atlanta and Cleveland have no score. So that's proving to be a tight game right now.
All right, well, I don't know what the delay is here. They had some pushing and shoving a little bit after the whistle as Miles O'Connor was voicing his displeasure in there. And they'll bring the face-off at center ice. Arneal comes out with Slivchenko and Lamb, Laniel and Jakes defensively. Greenlaw, Dobbin, and Biggs with Dale DeGray and Dwayne Joyce. We're just underway with the start of the second period. Face-off, center ice, and the Aeros win the draw. Here is Marc Laniel. Give it to Jakes. Ripped it into the Cincinnati zone. Takes a weird hop. Came out in front, but DeGray was there to thwart it away. Pass came to the center ice area. Batted down by Jakes, but it's pushed back ahead by Biggs, and now Greenlaw across the line. Give it to Dobbin. Centered, and Gamble makes the stick save. Puck goes to the near side. Slivchenko. It was stripped by Biggs. Back out at center. Biggs again. Slivchenko overskated it. And Greenlaw trying to turn it around. Here is Don Biggs down the left side. Cutting in. Looks in front. Centered, but it went wide. Now DeGray overskates it. It's poked away, and the Aeros are off to the races. There's a long pass. Slivchenko couldn't find the handle, but it's picked up by Laniel. Turns it for Arneal. Arneal looks in front. It's pushed away, and the Cyclones come the other way. Here comes Cincinnati across the line. Dobbin trying to find Biggs, but it's knocked away, and the Cyclones making changes. Lamb scampers to center, hits the line, cuts to the slot, dropped it for Kelly Hurd. Hurd moving in now, makes a nice move, cuts in, lost the puck, it came back. The drive by Donnelly ricocheted wide of the net. Lamb, right side, had it poked away by Kontos. O'Connor waiting for it in the corner. He's drilled in a penalty. Delayed call coming up to Cincinnati. Kelly Hurd center, the drive. Great save by Chabot as Lamb unloaded a drive. Here's Donnelly, the shot, and it's finally picked up. And then O'Connor and Scott Thomas kind of throw shoulders into one another, but the linesmen separate them, and the Aeros are going to go on the power play.
Well, this will give the Aeros a chance to start that long trail back and trying to tie this game up. They're trailing 4-1 right now, and as we mentioned earlier, the Cincinnati Cyclones have not allowed more than 4 goals in a game this season, and Chabot has won 8 out of his last 9 starts with a 2.44 goals against average. So they do have an uphill battle right now in coming back. A good job on the power play here could start them on their way.
Face-off will be to the right side of Freddie Chabot as Chris Dahlquist sits in the box, 2 minutes for tripping. And the Aeros with their second crack on the power play. Cincinnati has now killed off, coming into tonight's game plus the 1, they've killed off 23 out of their last 4 power plays. Our statistician Neil Wilkins teeing up the stats for us. And the face-off is played by Cincinnati and fired all the way down the ice. Gamble comes out of the net to play it. And here is Marc Lamb. Lamb turning in behind his net. He'll move it from left to right. Quick pass, Conroy. Right liner, O'Connor blocked, turned back in. O'Connor fired it in there. Dwayne Joyce behind the cage, wrapped up and taken away by Al Conroy. Conroy scooped it back to the line for Lamb. Lamb turns it over for Maurice, cuts into the slot, but it's knocked away. Can he hold it in? Yes, he will. Maurice at a right point, streaking down the right side. He'll set up at the hash marks right side. Maurice sends one down, Conroy, back Maurice, shoots, stopped by Chabot. Big rebound, score, and they're going to wave it off. It was hit with a high stick. Joe Ernst was right there to wave it off, and the Aeros not going to argue too much, and as you see on Prime Sports, Terry Wiskowski not going to say much either.
Well, on an obvious call like that, the puck will come all the way back down to the Aeros zone because it was played with a high stick, but still a good job by Maurice getting that on goal. But I tell you what, it was hit with a high stick as it was backhanded into net by Yo. Clearly above the crossbar, and that's the ruling. If your stick's above the crossbar, as you'll see, get a good look right here. It's clearly a high sticking call to come all the way back.
When you're on the power play, a face-off, it's like an icing call to come back in your own end. 2.5 gone in the second. At 4-1 Cincinnati, 1:22 remaining in the Dahlquist penalty. Not much to complain about. You know, Al Conway gave it the old college try there, but he knew he wasn't going to get anywhere. Face off to the right side of Troy Gamble. Townsend looped it in behind the net for Lamb, bangs it off the boards, and Townsend will try it again. Had to seek refuge behind the net, and Marc Lamb will turn up. This guy's seen a ton of ice so far tonight. Lamb's killed off penalties. He's been on the power play. Plus, oh, by the way, his regular shift. Here comes Turgeon down the right side, but they'll blow that dead on the offsides call, and the face-off back at center. You know, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, folks. Tomorrow night, the Houston Aeros take on the Cyclones in a Christmas wonderland at the Summit. We have Santa Claus, the Houston Youth Symphony, and much more. Just bring a fruitcake and receive 2 $10 tickets for the price of one. Proceeds benefit the Star of Hope mission. Join us for a holiday celebration and happy hockey days from your Houston Aeros. Face off at center ice. It's controlled by Cincinnati and shot right back down the ice. And Troy Gamble out of the net, and here is Marc Lamb. He'll turn it around with under a minute on the power play. Pass center ice, Freer belted along the boards, but stays with a puck, brings it across the line. Freer cutting in, centered, it hits skates, knocked free by Greenlaw, and it goes all the way down the ice. Back goes Marc Laniel for Houston. He'll play it in behind the net as the Aeros will break it out. Under 35 now remaining in the power play. Here is Turgeon across the line, rips the shot, but it was at the whistle as the Aeros were offside. Again, the puck goes in, but no way. That came as the whistle had sounded, and a face-off again at center ice. Well, at least the Aeros got it into the net twice.
Yeah, they've got it into the net twice. Now they just have to do it when it's going to count. Turgeon there winding up with a big shot. Of course, it was offside, but you know, he's been successful a little bit lately with his shot. You remember how many shots he took there for a while. He had racked up a lot of shots and couldn't find the twine. And so he just reverted to helping other guys score goals by getting a lot of assists. And now he's starting to fill the net himself, which is good to see.
Off the face-off, Houston has it. O'Connor chipped it into the Cincinnati zone. Jeff Wells rips it along the boards. It'll come to the line. It got by Jakes. Here come the Cyclones short-handed, but back is Miles O'Connor to take it over. O'Connor flings one out. It is Conroy. Looped one to center. That's pushed away. And the Cyclones are there. Hawkins belted by O'Connor. And it goes back down into the Houston Aero end. Jakes in his own end. Long lead pass for Scott Arneal, who has the only Aero goal. Shot it into the Cincinnati zone. Chabot came out, chipped it along the board. Slivchenko knocked it free as the power play is over. Teams at 5 aside. Here's Slivchenko. Had it poked away. Joyce kicked it near boards. It's jammed off the wall and down the ice. This will be icing on Cincinnati as Houston goes back. O'Connor to touch, and we have a timeout on the ice. A little over 4 minutes gone to the second period. Cincinnati leads at 4-1. Back with more Aeros hockey in a moment, but first, fly away with me on Southwest Airlines.
Circuit breakers. Check. Window heat. On. Takeoff warning horn. Check. Parking brake. Set. Radios, radar, and transponder. Set and standing by. Sunscreen. SPF 15. That's a check.
Southwest Airlines is going to Florida with low fares on every seat, every flight, every day. Florida has never been closer.
Cool shades. On.
So I said to Henny, of course chickens are more important to Hooters than owls.
Who?
Chickens, that's who.
I beg to differ.
Well, beg all you want. Without chickens, there'd be no chicken sandwiches or chicken salad. Or Hooters' famous chicken wings. There'd be no Hooters if it weren't for chicken.
It's really not wise to even argue the point.
That's because I'm right.
No, that's because you're not going to be around long anyway. Chicken.
4-1 Cincinnati. Adam Gordon, Mike Greenlay. Paul Wallace is a guy that good to be back in the Cincinnati lineup. A real speedster. He missed 5 games with a groin injury, but boy, you see his numbers there, Greener. He can light it.
He can. He does have great speed. We haven't seen a lot of him tonight. He's probably trying to ease himself back in. But I tell you what, when this guy's legs are moving, there's not too many people in this league that can catch him.
There's only one on this Aeros squad, I think, that can, and that's Slivchenko as far as flat out speed. Here's Yo with a shot and a blocker save made by Chabot, and it's flipped out at center by Scott Thomas, and it goes back into the Arrow end. Lanyell, the former Cyclone, turns in behind his net, and it's picked up by Gord Donnelly. A pass a little too out of the reach of Kelly Hurd, and it's turned around by Cincinnati. Scott Thomas across the line, centered one, but it was pushed away by Mike Maurice. Loose puck for Gord Donnelly. Flings one out at center ice. Here comes Yo. Starts the rush. Dump the puck in. Out of the net, Chabot. He'll spank it along the boards, but it came right to Mike Yo. Looks for Kelly Hurd, busting in there, but it's picked up by Tomlinson. He's run into by Mike Maurice. Lawless comes in there to poke it free. It came out in front. Cincinnati's got it. It's jammed along the boards and finally out at center. Here come the Cyclones. Lawless moved it ahead. 2-on-1. Tomlinson cuts right in on goal. Shoots, scores! Dave Tomlinson, and it's 5-1 Cincinnati.
I tell you what, Tomlinson's second goal of the game, and it was a great move. Just like his first move, he froze the goalie, Troy Gamble, as he came down. He had a chance to shoot, and he didn't. He held it, and then he just froze Gamble and just chipped it between his legs. I tell you what, it doesn't take much. You don't have to fire the puck in the net. You just have to get it across the line, and he elects to take it in as he's given the lane, and he just chips the puck 5-hole on Gamble, and Gamble hasn't seen a lot of work, so he's probably still pretty cold. But it was a good 2-on-1, and Tomlinson makes it count.
5 unanswered goals now by Cincinnati, and they lead it 5-1. Puck is in the Cyclone zone. Freer trying to chip it behind the net. Biggs worked it away. Greenlaw to the near side. Checked by Turgeon. It's out at center ice. Right now, it's a good old-fashioned spanking. Arrows need to get themselves back into this hockey game. It is Joyce. Fired it to DeGray. Knocked away. Turgeon in there. Fighting for the loose puck. DeGray trying to knock it away. Turgeon behind that, but he fired right to Dwayne Joyce. And here come the Cyclones. Center ice. Greenlaw snapped it out at center for Dobbin. Gives to Biggs. Here they come again. Just shot by Dobbin. Right on. Rebound. Score! And it's Greenlaw. And it's now 6-1 Cincinnati.
And Graham Townsend, after that goal, was livid with himself, probably because it was his man that chipped the puck into the net. Gamble makes a save, and the puck is chipped into the open net. And just a good shot by Dobbin, gets it on net. Gamble can't control the rebound, and Greenlaw, with his third of the night, chips it over top of Gamble as he can't get back into the play. And Townsend, you can see, is hooking, trying to get it, and boy, is he livid. You can see him slashing his stick on the ice afterwards, and he's lucky not to have gotten a 10-minute misconduct after that, as he put a couple big holes in the ice, and they're down there trying to fix those holes right now. And you can just tell the frustration that the players are feeling, and 6-1 shows the reason why.
Well, there's not much to say. I think the score explains it all. And I think that expression by Rob Dobson explains it all right now.
Well, at points like this, you really try and figure out, try and put your finger on what the problem is. And no one can really say, oh, it's this or it's that. It's a tough thing to go through, and the Arrows are going through it tonight. We haven't seen this kind of breakdown in quite a while, and it looks like it's coming back to haunt them at the worst time.
Maybe they need to play the rest of them on the road. They play so well, but they just cannot buy a win at the Summit. Puck comes back into the Arrow end, and after it Jenks rolled it to Slivchenko. Maybe slapping that stick on the ice was a good thing for the Arrows, and Graham Townsend may have slowed the momentum. Here is Marc Lamb across the line, feeding Slivchenko back for Lamb. Get it over to Lanyell. Shoots, stop, score! And it's 6-2.
Well, the Arrows showing that they can come back as well. Right after the Greenlaw goal, Lanyell comes down and gets a shot on net. I'm not sure whether Lanyell will get credit for it. It was kind of a jammed up net there. But nevertheless, they do get a shot on goal. It does find the net somehow. A good pass by Lamb, and Lanyell just beats one, and it deflects off of a Cincinnati Cyclone stick. I think it went off Chris Dahlquist, and Lanyell will probably get credit for it, but just a good job by Lamb to find Lanyell open on the far side. And all he does is get this one on net. I think it hit 2 sticks. The last one it hit was Dahlquist, and it just flips up over Chabot's shoulder. It's 6-2.
Puck goes into the Cincinnati zone. Len Esau was there, turned around by DeGray, and it's bumped to the line. Donnelly, the shot ricocheted wide of the net. Back is O'Connor. He tees it up, shoots, and a blocker save made by Chabot. Malgunas on for his first shift of the night. Give it to Al Conroy. Looks in front. It's centered, but nobody there for Houston. And here comes a pass. Macdonald, center ice, across the line. Labelle dropped it for Macdonald, who's got a goal in the game. Doug Macdonald slides it down. It's picked away by Yo, and he'll move it up and out of the zone. A pass to Conroy. He's got Malgunas at center, but instead he'll dump the puck in. 6-2 Cincinnati. And the Cyclones with the puck. Dale DeGray, give it to Macdonald. Place it high in the air. It'll bounce back into the Aeros zone. Miles O'Connor is there. It's chipped at center. And here come the Aeros. Turgeon ripped the draw. And a save made by Chabot, and he will hold on. Let's take a timeout. 12:53 to go in the second. 6-2 Cincinnati. Back after this.
Texaco has joined the Aero Force. Texaco and the Houston Aeros invite you to experience a fantasy land of sports at the IHL All-Star Ice Fest. Meet famous athletes, experience goalie virtual reality, the thrills of inline skating, plus the 10th annual TriStar Collector Show and more. January 12th through 14th at the George R. Brown. Stop by participating Houston area Texaco locations. Fill up with 8 gallons of Clean System 3 gasoline and get a $3 off coupon to the IHL All-Star Ice Fest.
Hey, Remington, shave this.
If you can grow it, we can shave it. The newest Remington Triple Foil, the only shaver with 3 micro screens, now has a 50% greater cutting rate with a more powerful motor. And 3 flexible foils for those hard-to-shave places on hard-to-shave faces. So make it this smooth, this comfortable, and this close. The new Remington Triple Foil. If you can grow it, we can shave it.
12:53 to go in the second period. 6-2 hockey game in favor of Cincinnati. And, well, the Aeros may have stopped the bleeding a little bit with that goal from Marc Laniel. It draws the Aeros within 4.
Yeah, it was a good job. Laniel pinching in from the point, and he gets the puck around the faceoff dot and just shoots it. It deflects off a couple of sticks in front, and he's rewarded with a goal. Laniel has played solid and hasn't had a goal in a while, but this will maybe get him back going where he wants to be.
Face off to the right side of Frederic Chabot, and the Cyclones win the draw. Dwayne Joyce get it to Kontos. He'll wrap it to the line. Krupke held it in. Lets the shot go. Chabot stopped it, but the rebound kicks to the far side, and Scott Thomas is there. Pass missed Kontos, and it came out at center. Scott Thomas rolls one into the arrow end. Gamble out of the net to slow it, and he will flip it along the boards. Laniel dropped it back for Krupke as he motors his body into Kontos. And it's jammed along the near side. Here's a pass knocked away. Thomas the shot. Ooh, went just high and wide of the net. And Krupke is there as he's checked by Thomas. They battle in the corner. Kontos flipped it in for Tomlinson. The shot goes wide of the net. Into the far corner, it's Marc Laniel. He'll rip it off the glass. It'll go all the way down the ice. 8 minutes gone in the second. 6-2 Cincinnati. Dwayne Joyce back icing the call, and the faceoff will come back into the Houston zone.
Well, the Aeros getting pressured a little bit. Doing a good job defensively, though. There weren't any real clear open shots there. Miles O'Connor and Gord Krupke doing a really good job on defense. You know, Krupke, since coming back, has looked stronger and stronger every game. And he's really starting to look like he can shoot the puck and throw the shoulder and throw the body around a bit, which is good to see.
They'll bring the face-off to the left side of Troy Gamble, and it's the line of Mark Lamp, Vadim Slivchenko, Scott Arniel. Jakes defensively with Gord Donnelly. Macdonald, Lawless, and Hawkins with Dahlquist and Len Esau. And the sticks are down between Lamb and Macdonald. Lamb wins the draw. Donnelly chipped it along the boards for Slivchenko. He'll turn to the right side and move it up and out of the zone for Mark Lamb. Lamb through the neutral zone. Handed over to Slivchenko. Blasted in by Donnelly. It's slowed by Chabot. Spanked it along the boards. And it's Todd Hawkins that'll chip it out at center. Jakes trying to move it ahead. Lamb knocked it away. Here's Jakes at center ice. Flings one over to Lamb, but it's knocked away. And here come the Cyclones trying to get it through Donnelly. Not going to happen. And Arniel gets it out at center ice. Make it 11:34 to go in the second period. 6-2 Cincinnati. And here is Doug Macdonald chopped down in a penalty coming up to Steve Jakes. And Jakes will go to the penalty box. And the Aeros will be short-handed.
Jakes gets his stick out there. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but Macdonald goes piling over top of it. And so Jakes will go off for 2 minutes as he gets his stick across the front of him to slow him down. He ends up tripping him, and Jakes just looks at the referee and He doesn't even say anything. He just looks at him, and he'll head off to the box. And actually, he's going to the bench. He might be changing sticks, and that's what he's doing. I was going to say, hey, you're supposed to be on the other side of the ice of the box, but he's just changing his stick, and then he'll head over to the box. Probably broken on that last play. So the Cyclones go on the power play and try to make it 7-2.
Conroy with Lamb, and also while we got a moment, don't forget to join us again New Year's Eve for more IHL hockey. The Aeros taking on the Orlando Solar Bears. Aeros will have to find a way to stop Craig Fisher, who leads the eye in goals scored, as well as returning to the lineup Hubie McDonough. It's the Solar Bears and the Aeros New Year's Eve right here at the Summit on Prime Sports in KPRC Radio, 9:50 a.m. Puck is in the Aero end. Puck was centered. It came out in front. And Dwayne Joyce is there for Don Biggs. Biggs, left side, lobs it down. Greenlaw to Biggs in the near circle, getting set. Biggs, cross ice pass over to DeGray. Centered, it hits skates, loose in front, poked away by Al Conroy. And Lamb trying to clear it. He'll blast it out at center ice, but DeGray is there. Pass went through Brian Dobbin. He's watched by Krupke. And here come the Cyclones. It is Dale DeGray, lobs it into the arrow end. It came out in front. Gamble thwarts it away. Krupke battling with Dobbin. Here's Lawless spanking it along the boards. And now it is Marc Lamb, chipped away by Biggs. Rolls it down in behind the net for Brian Dobbin. Center, the shot, blocked by Gamble. Dobbin trying to center it again. Biggs to the line, DeGray. Wine, shoots, blocked, rebound cleared, not out. Here's Biggs again on the right side. Don Biggs at the hash marks. Right wing boards. He's got Dobbin cutting to the net. Sends it back to Dwayne Joyce. Tipped it over to DeGray. 48 on the power play. Puck centered for Biggs too far. And Al Conroy is there. He'll shoot it down the ice. 40 seconds remaining to Jenks. 10:09 to go in the second. 6-2 Cincinnati. Dale DeGray down to 35 on the power play. DeGray. Moves to center ice for Dave Tomlinson. Chipped it in. The Cyclones are offsides, and they'll bring the faceoff back to center with 9:55 to go. Second period, 6-2 Cincinnati. 26 seconds left. The Jenks, and there's a look at Scott Thomas once again, and Ron Smith, the head coach of the Cyclones. I don't think he has to motivate his troops much more here. Just keep them playing their brand of hockey.
And they do play a certain style of hockey that allows them to take care of their own zone, and when they get the chances, they make good on them, as you've seen tonight.
It's called speed.
Speed and conversion. Their conversion rate is excellent.
Face-off is at center, and it's controlled off the draw by Cincinnati. Loop back into their own end. Here is Len Esau. Give it to Tomlinson. Tomlinson turning it his own end as the power plays down to 10 seconds. Cincinnati's really in no hurry here. Tomlinson bring it across the line, splits the D, shoots, and he flipped it just wide of the net. Boy, I'll tell you, Tomlinson has had his way with the Aero Blue Liners tonight, along with several other of the Cincinnati forwards, and finally a whistle stops play with 9:25 to go in the second. 6-2 Cyclones.
You're right, Tomlinson really, I don't know what kind of fakes he's throwing on those Aeros defensemen, but they seem to be working, as this is maybe the third time that he's broken in all alone on the Aero defense, and Tomlinson can't get a handle on the puck as he's hauled down, and the puck's steered to the corner, but can't let a guy like Tomlinson jump in there too often. He has 18 goals, 17 assists for 34 points this year. And you don't want that kind of guy breaking in on your goaltender all alone too often.
Doesn't get any easier for Houston tomorrow. They'll play the same team, most likely a different goalie, Danny Lorenz, the #1 goalie in the IHL. It doesn't get easy against Cincinnati at all. You just can't make any mistakes. We talked about the top of the telecast. You make one mistake and it's your last. And the Aeros made 4 big ones in the first, and it cost them goals as a shot comes on to Troy Gamble. He makes the save. Macdonald turned it into the corner. Back is Jake's near side. Gives to Slivchenko. And Vadim will move it up and out of his zone, but he turned it over to Doug MacDonald. Cross eyes pass. Hawkins shoots. Great save by Gamble. Puck to the line, Dahlquist. Woo! That just went wide of the net. I don't think Gamble expected that coming in, and the Aeros said had enough. They'll flip it over the glass and out of play. 8:52 to go in the second period. Cyclones 2, Cyclones 6, Aeros 2 back after this.
I just went through the toughest fight of my life. I gave up tobacco, smokeless tobacco, but I didn't give up chewing. Yeah, I cheated. I switched to Smoky Mountain Chew. It has no tobacco, but the taste sure fools you. At first, I mixed Smoky Mountain with my old chew, and then I'd swap out. Chew Smoky Mountain one time and my old one the next. And now I'm free of tobacco. And let me tell you, I don't miss it. What you chew doesn't make you a man. It just says what kind of man you are.
Hey guys, we got a problem. Fanfare is selling our clothes. NFL Pro Line?
Oh, great. Now everyone can look like us.
Big deal. Who could have a pass for us? Oh gosh, what if they fool the press?
There I was, 4th and goal.
And wearing Pro Line's probably gonna get them right on the field, right?
Maybe I'm taking this whole thing a little too serious.
Come on, we can take these guys.
See? NFL Pro Line, available at Fanfare.
You feel like walking on the wild side?
6-2 at the Summit. Cyclones lead it, and Labelle gets a good shot on goal. Gamble steers it to the corner with his blocker, and then again Gamble comes up big on Hawkins as Hawkins breaks into the zone and gets a good shot, but a good leg drag by Gamble, and the score stays 6-2.
Cyclones turn the puck in. Here's a centering pass, tip wide. Greenlaw bang away at a rebound. Greenlaw's got 3 and he wants more. Krupke's got him all locked up, trying to bulldog him to the ice. It went behind the cage. They continue to grapple. Good battle between the two. And Gamble will fling it along the boards, not out. It's shot in front, but turned around by Houston, and Mike Maurice heads up ice. Maurice motoring right wing board, shoots it into the Cincinnati end. Chabot out of the net, and it's chipped to the near side. And here comes Dwayne Joyce. Cross-ice pass for Brian Dobbin. Had a brain freeze for a moment. Here's the puck into the arrow end. It went behind the net. Conroy trying to turn it around. He'll move a quick pass out to the far side for Yo. And it's out at center ice. Puck goes into the arrow end, and here is Laniel. Reversed it off the boards into the corner. Shahaki drilled by both Krupke and Yo. Krupke trying to move it along the boards. Krupke kicked it free, and here is Mike Yo. Turns one out the left side. Marc Lamb rolls for Townsend, and what do we got? A whistle. I don't know what the call is, but while we find out here, a reminder that our boys at the Houston Aeros are in the midst of an all-out pro hockey war. You can support the war effort. Houston Aero war bonds are on sale now. War bonds are $10 ticket vouchers and booklets of $5. They're redeemable for tickets for the games you want to see. It's a perfect gift for the holidays. You can order by calling 627-AERO, 627-AERO. And now Mike Yo is going to go to the penalty box along with Chris Shahaki.
I think they might both get roughing calls. I'm not positive about it, but it was behind the play, and they're roughing it up in the zone, and then they roughed it up all the way up to center ice, and they're probably both going to get roughing calls.
So they'll face it off at center ice, and we'll go 4-on-4 for a couple of minutes. And I don't think this is as much a benefit for Houston as it is Cincinnati with more ice with their speed. It's just more room for Paul Lawless.
And he's a guy that they're going to have to watch out there. You say he's coming off a groin injury, so he's not going to stress it too much as they're leading 6-2, but he will give himself a good workout.
Get him back into shape. He's missed 5 games. Puck goes back into the arrow end. It's reversed by Donnelly, knocked away by Kontos. Those two continue to grapple behind the net, and finally the Arrows move it up and out of their zone. It's Donnelly. He'll romp to center ice, right side, rip it into the Cincinnati zone. It went behind the net. Dahlquist back to play it. Dahlquist worked the pass ahead, and here come the Cincinnati Cyclones. Lawless with some room. Lawless across the line, feeding Kontos. Back Lawless, shoots. It was blocked, and the Arrows are off the other way. Lamb turning it center, but he had nowhere to go, and Lawless showing his speed getting back. Here's the pass to Turgeon, looking for Lamb, cutting it on goal, then he's lost an edge, and down he went. Arrows have to get back. Here come the Cyclones. The puck is dumped in. What's this? Cincinnati dumped the puck in? Pinch me, I'm dreaming. Puck is into the arrow end, knocked away by Donnelly. Now Maurice feathers it across the line. Maurice moving down the right wing, looks in front, chipped away by Esau. They go into the corner, grapple some more. Slivchenko is there. Slivchenko left side, cutting in, lost the puck, and here is Jakes. Back to the line, Laniel scooped one into the far corner for Mike Maurice, base of the left circle. Maurice feathers one to Slivchenko. They battle into the corner, kick it free. Thomas trying to move it up and out of the zone, and here come the Cyclones. DeGray, Dale DeGray through the neutral zone, hits the line. It's turned around by Slivchenko, and the Arrows are there. Jakes get it to Maurice. He'll roll one ahead for Slivchenko. Slivchenko moving down the right side, cuts right in with a shot, and that goes wide of the net. Scott Thomas trying to clear, cannot. Arrows have got it. Here come the Houston Arrows. Mike Maurice to the line. Here's Slivchenko. The shot right on. It's turned around by Cincinnati. At center ice, Tomlinson shoots it in, but the Arrows are there. Here is Mike Maurice. Late in the shift, he'll just drip center and shoot it in. Chabot slows. 5:45 to go in the second. Gill back on the ice to Shahaki, so we'll have a side now as the puck goes into the arrow end. Gord Krupke turning in behind the net. Krupke a pass to the left side for Arneal. Looks for Freer, busting in on goal. Freer right in! Oh, great save by Chabot, but a penalty coming up to the Cincinnati Cyclones, and the Aeros will go on the power play with 5.5 remaining in the second period. 6-2 Cincinnati.
And I think it's going to be Dwayne Joyce that gets a hooking call there as Freer was in all alone. A great pass by Arneal, feeding him up the center. Freer takes it off his skates and he's off to the races, but he's hauled back in by Joyce, and an easy save for Chabot after that. Freer really in all alone. All he had to do is cut around the corner, but he's hooked on the play, and Chabot, all he has to do is lay down and stop it. But a good job by Arneal finding Freer up the middle, and Freer banding on the shot after he's being pulled down. Still a good job to see the Aeros are still trying to put some pressure on a team like the Cincinnati Cyclones, who are probably just going to go into somewhat of a defensive shell now. They're just going to dump the puck in and take care of their own zone, and that's dangerous for the Aeros because you know that Cincinnati has enough goals to win.
Face off to the right side of Freddie Chabot. Off the face off. It's ripped by Cincinnati all the way down the ice. 5:22 to go in the second. Aeros need 4 goals to tie.
When you play a team like Cincinnati, you have to win 2-1 or 3-2. You can't get into shootouts.
Freer shoots it in. Arneal muscling down the right side, cuts in center to the puck that was batted out of midair by Kelly Hurd. Here is Freer right side. Freer hits the break, sets up at the right wing boards. Freer cutting in, fakes the shot, now moves it in the shot, stopped by Chabot. Boy, he read that perfectly. Never even left the post, and he will hold on with under 5 minutes remaining. In the second, it's 6-2 Cincinnati, 1.5 remaining, and Joyce's penalty.
He actually moved towards the post, and that's because he moved so fluidly, you thought he was already there. I tell you what, he moves great along the ice. He's a good goaltender that moves a butterfly style back and forth, and he read that play perfectly, and Arneal had nothing to shoot at.
Do you think the Florida Panthers, the parent club, are struggling in the goaltending department? They've got the top 2 goaltenders, I think, right now going in the NHL with Marc Fitzpatrick and John Van Beesbroek. And then just when you look at their farm system alone in Florida, which isn't even their prime affiliate, they've got Freddie Chabot and Danny Lorenz. I don't even know what's sitting waiting for them in Greensboro, which is their main affiliate.
Yeah, they have a couple young guys there, but oh boy, they have a lot of goaltenders right now, and they're all playing well. That's the kind of situation general managers like to have, but that's not the kind of situation goaltenders like. They want to be able to move up, and these guys, although playing very well, who knows when they'll move up.
Here is Scott Arneal with the power play down to 1:05. O'Connor right point, the shot redirected right on Chabot, the same, bang away at it. Oh, it came free. Kelly Hurd never found it. And the Cyclones have a 2-on-1 shorthanded. Here comes Greenlaw, right in on goal. Great save by Gamble, and it's turned around by Houston. Houston to Kelly Hurd. He'll bust in, shoot, and a save made by Chabot. Puck spins into the corner. Freer into the circle to Laniel, and the shot goes wide. 38 on the power play. Boy, it's opened up a little bit here. Freer cuts it over to Lamb, moves out in front. They bang away on a loose puck. Here's a chance for Laniel. The one-time shot blasted just wide. Biggs chopping at it, and it's picked up by Greenlaw, and he'll shoot it down the ice. 18 remaining in the Dwayne Joyce penalty. 3:42 to go in the second period. 6-2 Cincinnati.
The Aeros are going to have to get their shots up a little bit. That's where Chabot's strength is saves along the ice, and that's where the Aeros are shooting them all.
Conroy the other way brings the puck into the Cincinnati zone. Townsend bumping in there. Conroy fighting for it, and it's dug out by Graham Townsend, but the penalty's over. Teams at 5 aside. Laniel ripped the shot that was blocked. Here's Jakes at a right point. The shot right on Chabot to save, and he will hold on. 3:18 to go in the second period. Cincinnati leads it by a score of 6-2. Happy holidays. We'll be right back.
You ever hear anyone talk about life like you gotta chew it up and spit it out? You gotta want it so bad you can taste it. You gotta be hungry. If so, Gatorade has one question for you. You want something to drink with that? Because you're gonna be thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
I believe people today are tired of large, unfriendly banks.
I want a bank that understands my needs.
They're looking for a smaller, more flexible bank.
I want instant cash. That's why I like Break the Bank.
No paperwork, no credit check. Just scratch off a winning ticket and you can get up to $30,000. And with Break the Bank, you never have to pay it back.
We may be small, but with over 20 million winners, we can serve all of Texas. For everything you want in a bank, play Break the Bank.
6-2 at the Summit. Cyclones lead it, and Freddie Chabot still stopping the Aeros shots on goal. And I tell you what, he gets down, and he's not a very big goaltender, but DeGray clears the puck for him there. But he's not a very big goaltender, but he covers an area, and only way you're gonna beat him is either to put it in the 5-hole before he gets down, or put it over his shoulder. And there you can see he's doing it all.
Cincinnati Aeros out shooting Cincinnati 23-20, but in the period 15-7 the Aeros are out shooting Cincinnati. But the stat that's amazing is how the Cyclones have outscored the Aeros in the season series 29-12. Here's a shot by Turgeon that went off a skate, and that rattled Jeff Wells a little bit. He's slow to get up, and I'll tell you, I don't care if it's anybody that rips a puck off your skate. Your skate, it's like just a thin skin that's on your foot, and really you can take a soft one off the foot and you're going to feel, especially if it's cold on the ice, that really hurts if your feet get cold.
And especially if it's Sylvain Turgeon shooting it.
Yeah,
he has a heavy shot, and he takes a good shot, and I think sometimes you get it right on the top of the foot where the laces are, and you know, a skate's really tight. It doesn't have a lot of padding, like you said, and a good hard shot off of that. So, you know, sometimes guys will get a good hard shot in the ankle, and they won't take the skate off in between periods. They'll just play with the pain, because if you take it off, your foot swells up and you can't get your skate back on. So, but I don't think that's the situation here, as Wells will go to the box and walk it off a bit.
Face off top of the fire circle in the Cincinnati zone. Aeros win the draw. Donnelly, a wrist shot, changed direction, went to the near corner, picked up by Townsend, looks in front, and it's cleared by Doug Macdonald out at center ice, but Donnelly is there for Houston. Shoots it into the zone, knocked down by Chabot, and Chris Dahlquist is there. Plays peekaboo with Townsend, launches one to center. This is going to be an icing call on Cincinnati. And Gord Donnelly goes back to play it. His whistle stops play. 2:48 to go in the second. Cyclones lead at 6-2. And Ron Smith, the head coach of Cincinnati, is kind of relaxed on the bench. His team, I'll tell you what, they can explode at any time. They exploded for those 4 unanswered goals in the first period, and they've launched 2 more into the net in this period.
Well, and you can see that they've taken a little more of a defensive style now, and it's allowed the Aeros a few more shots, but they've done a good job clearing the puck. And on that last replay you saw before, DeGray cleared it out of the crease as it went off Chabot. So their defensemen are doing a good job as well as the goaltending.
Face off to the left side of Frederic Chabot. Gord Krupke has it at the point, rolls it over to O'Connor, lets a wrist shot go, stuck aside by Chabot. Maurice feathers it along the boards, but it's knocked away by Cincinnati. It's out at center ice. They've got a 3-on-2 the other way. Lawless across the line, sends one. Here's Tomlinson, overskated it though. It's poked away, and the Aeros will move it up and out of their end. It is Maurice. The pass for Yo. Mike Yo at center, ran into his own man Slivchenko, and it goes into the Cincinnati zone. Chris Dahlquist is there, watched by Slivchenko as the Aeros set up in their 1-4. There's a good look at it. They line up all 4 guys here at the blue line, and they try to shut it down, and it works. Cincinnati's going to end up icing the puck. And back is Mike Yo, and he'll play it. I mean, that was a good example there, as the Aeros send in Slivchenko as the 1 guy, and then everybody lines up on the blue line for the 1-4.
Well, Cincinnati likes to break the puck out, maybe 1 or 2 passes, and there the pass was just fed to the boards, and then right up the middle, and the Aeros forcing them and not allowing them to carry the puck, which is what they like to do. They carry the puck up, and if they don't have anything, they take the puck back, turn it around, give it to their defenseman, and regroup, and then transition it right back up the ice. The Aeros aren't allowing them to do that right now, and it's giving them some good chances on goal.
It's like another trap, and it's not the trap that we're all familiar with, as a shot on by Donnelly, and Chabot makes the save, but the trap that you're more familiar with is the 1-2-2, where the forwards are up a little bit more, and they try to force them. The one guy that goes in tries to redirect the puck carrier to one side, and then they can trap and collapse on him. Here you got everybody waiting at the blue line.
Well, this one's a little more passive, as you hang back a little bit more and a little bit farther, but it has the same effect if you can work it.
Cyclones move it out at center ice, and the Aeros are there to play it. Gord Donnelly right side. Snaps one ahead. It hit Kelly Hurt off the skate, and back into the Houston Aero end it goes. Gamble slows it, and here is Marc Laniel. Now you can see Cincinnati lines up at a 1-2-2 forecheck. That's bounced at center ice, but the Cyclones have it back, but it's intercepted by Freer and dumped back in. This could turn into a very boring game if both teams start trapping here. Oh, brother, you want to see it open up a little bit. Kelly Hurt fires one in. It's batted down with a high stick. It came out at center ice, but waved off now as Donnelly will play it. He'll rip one right in on goal, and a stick save made by Freddie Chabot. Jeff Wells chipped it off the boards. It bounced back at center ice with 1:15 to go in the second period. 6-2 Cincinnati. Puck goes into the Cyclone zone. Dwayne Joyce is there to the near corner, trying to roll one ahead. And we got a whistle here. The Aeros offside. I think they are. And they'll bring the faceoff back to center. 1:09 to go in the second. 6-2 Cyclones. Stay with us in the second intermission. We'll have highlights, stats, plus timeout for good health. All our fine features coming up for you in the second intermission. And that'll take us into the third, and we'll see if the Aeros can't get themselves back into this hockey game.
Well, the Aeros know that they're going to face the same team tomorrow night. That gives them a good opportunity to maybe do something in the remainder of this game. Who's to say if they're going to come back and win this one? It would be a big feat for sure, but at least get some momentum going into the next game, because that might give you a good start in the first period tomorrow night.
Same two teams, same time, right here at the Summit. It'll be a radio-only game, by the way. You can only hear it on 950 KPRC. Chris Dahlquist in his own zone snaps one out at center. It goes into the Aero end. It went behind Gamble. Back goes Jakes to play it, and that is going to be another icing call. With 52 seconds to go in the second. 6-2 Cincinnati. And as you look at Chris Dahlquist on Prime Sports, you know, the thing is, Greener, if both teams start resorting to their version of the trap, whether it's 1-2-2 or 1-4 or whatever, I think you're going to see a lot more icing calls, a lot more turnovers in the neutral zone, and things are going to really clamp down defensively. You're not going to see a lot of open ice rushes.
And that just benefits Cincinnati, because right now Cincinnati leads 6-2. They don't care if they ice it every once in a while. The Aeros don't mind having the puck down there, but if they can't control it down there, then it's going to be tough for them to get any good opportunities on goal. But you know, you have a good line out there of Lamb, Conroy, and on the right wing, it looks like is that Steve Jakes?
No.
Why is there?
He's lined up because Turgeon's watching the point for the shot.
There it is.
Here's the shot that's blocked, and the Cyclones clear it. It'll go back down the ice. Jakes will hustle back to play it, pursued by Marc Labelle, and that is going to be another icing call.
So with a period where we had very few whistles, the first period it was really fast flowing. All of a sudden we've had about 5-6 whistles, and most of them have been icing.
Head coach Terry Ruskowski still trying to direct a little bit of traffic. Tells Krupke to stay out, and he will stay out with Steve Jakes. Conroy is out there with Lamb and Turgeon. Perhaps a goal right here. Give him something to build on for the third period. And there's team captain Al Conroy. And Lamb will take the face-off to the left side of netminder Freddie Chabot. Top of the puck, and the Cyclones have it. Len Esau rolled one to the far side. Cincinnati booms it out at center ice. Through Turgeon fell, and here comes Macdonald. Macdonald right side, cuts it back. The hammer just wide. Now back to Chris Dahlquist. Looks for the pass down low for Hawkins. Came behind the net. Jakes rolled it away. Here is Esau. Jammed it down into the corner. Jakes is there. And now it's picked up, and the Aeros bring it on at center ice. Al Conroy 2-on-2 with Turgeon. Conroy across the line. Looks for Turgeon. He's bumped off the puck. Cincinnati cleared it with 10 seconds remaining in the second period. 6-2 Cyclones. Donnelly fired it into the Cincinnati zone, and we've got a fight at center between Marc Labelle and Gord Donnelly. Labelle was giving it to Donnelly pretty good, but Donnelly came back, and then Labelle picked him up and worked him down. Pretty good bout there.
That was a back and forth. Labelle got a couple shots in. Donnelly came back really hard, and then they both went down in a heap. And I bet you'll see these guys go again in the third period, as Labelle himself is second in the league in majors, and both of them taking a little bit of a beating.
Yeah, I think Gord Donnelly may have taken the number, and I think Marc Labelle's dance card might have himself filled there. See how it started is Donnelly was moving it up the right side here, and then Labelle finished his check and gave him a little extra.
Well, you can see they were ready to go right away. There was no ifs and after buts, as Donnelly giving them a few lefts, and then they both eventually just go down in a heap. You notice both players, Donnelly gets his arm all hooked up there, but both players don't have their shirts tied down in the back. A lot of times players will have their shirts tied down so they can't have the jersey pulled over their head, but there's another school of thought, I guess. Some guys just like their equipment ripped right off them because there's nothing to hang on to then, and then you're basically defenseless. So a couple schools of thought in the fighting ring there.
Some guys, which is illegal, used to do the old Velcro on their sleeves, and it used to tear right away, but that is illegal. But I know some guys that used to do that, and that would get their arms free for some serious haymakers. 2 seconds to go in the period. They'll drop the puck, and the second period will be over. Some jousting between Yeo and Len Esau. Drop of the puck, there we go, and that is the period as the buzzer will sound, and we're through with 40 minutes of action from the Summit, and Cincinnati has opened up now a 4-goal lead. They lead it by a score of 6-2. When we return, more from the Summit back after this.
The preceding arguments for sliding doors on both sides were brought to you courtesy of the new Dodge Caravan.
See your Texas Dodge dealer today. The 1996 Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. The Colorado Buffaloes, led by head coach Rick Neuheisel and quarterback John Hessler, have trampled all others for a coveted place in Dallas, Texas. Their opponents, the Oregon Ducks, building on last year's Rose Bowl appearance, they continue to assert their power in the Pac-10. Come watch 2 of the nation's most dynamic teams battle for one of college football's major prizes. Be a part of the Cotton Bowl tradition. Order your tickets today. Call 214-638-BOWL. Welcome to the Prime Pro Shop Sports Hotspot, the superstore for sports fans. Hey, football fans, the season is finally here, and you can show your support by wearing your favorite team's authentic jersey. These official NFL Pro Line jerseys by Wilson Athletic are the same jerseys worn by the players on the field, complete with the player's name and number, stripes, team logos, and the NFL shield. Choose from any of your favorite NFL players from any NFL team. For a limited time, these can be yours for only $99.95 plus $6.50 shipping and handling. These jerseys sell for as much as $159.95 in stores, but can be yours today for only $99.95. Have your Visa or MasterCard ready and call 1-800-998-4342. These authentic jerseys are great for any football fan and make great gifts too. So call 1-800-998-4342 right now for the Prime Pro Shop and hit the spot.
6-2 Cyclones lead it as we're in the second intermission. And folks, I'll tell you, one of the big things is back injuries, not just for hockey players, but in general, whenever you're picking things up, and we want to talk about preventing back injuries, and that leads us as we take time out for good health.
Time Out for Good Health is presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment in healthcare together.
Hello, my name is Dr. Timothy Sitter, an orthopedic surgeon with Houston Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Associates at Rosewood Medical Center Hospital. Today we're going to discuss some of the basics of proper back care. Prevention is your best insurance against back injury, with 80% of all back injuries directly attributable to lack of exercise. Some alarming statistics have shown that 8 out of 10 Americans will suffer significant back pain sometime during their life, with an annual cost to the employer of $10 billion a year due to time off work. This does not include the additional costs of medicine, rehabilitation, and office visits. Along with the advice of your doctor, you can maintain a strong, healthy back by following a few simple rules. These include thinking ahead before lifting and practicing proper lifting technique, keeping your weight under control, thus avoiding unnecessary back strain, maintaining proper posture through all daily activities, and most importantly, through exercise, maintaining good tone, strength, and flexibility, not only of the back muscles, but more importantly, the abdominal muscles. This may require no more than 15 to 20 minutes of back-specific exercise 3 to 4 times a week. Since prevention is your best insurance against back injury, you must always remember to take time out for good health.
Time Out for Good Health was presented by Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment in healthcare together.
C.L. Strickland of Strickland Chevrolet in Pearland talks about the importance of caring and making you happy.
When you buy a car from me, you're going to be happy. You're going to feel like we care. We don't just talk a story, we really feel it. And it will be very evident to you at Strickland Chevrolet that all of my people do care about your needs and want to satisfy you. It's not just we want your money, we do care, we want to make you happy.
Come home to Texas, come home to genuine Chevrolet.
C.L. Strickland talks about selection.
It's easier to buy a car at Strickland Chevrolet because, number one, we carry a very large inventory, particularly of some of the hard-to-get stuff. Very seldom could you ever drive in and not drive off with exactly what you want because we have that kind of variety. If we don't have what you want, we'll find what you want. We believe if you want it, we need it. That's what we believe.
Come home to Texas and genuine Chevrolet.
Grizzlies and the Rockets, Tuesday at 7:30 on Prime Sports.
From Emery to Jackie to RC, from the wishbone to the birth of the 12th man team to the wrecking crew, relive the greatest plays, games, and players in the new video Domination in College Station, the modern era of Texas A&M football. The video, a must for all Aggie fans. To order your official Domination in College Station video for only $24.95, call 1-800-903-7803. That's 1-800-903-7803.
Welcome back to the Summit, everybody. 6-2 hockey game. Cyclones lead it, and I want to bring in a very special friend of ours. This is Christine Gardner. She works for Prime Sports. She's one of our stage managers, helps make us look good, and no matter how hard she tries, I guess she really can't. But in spirit of the holidays, well, she's got a little something for Mike Greenlay, my partner here, maybe a little bit of a lot of things. And Christine, tell us what you got for him.
Well, Mike, he's done a great job this season as his first year as an announcer. But, you know, I think you need a few more things so that you'll be prepared. And I got you this little bag of goodies here. We've got some hockey pencils, a comb. You know, you're always like writing things out on your note cards, and
I'll have all my notes straightened out.
No, you won't. Like 5 different colors of highlighters.
I used to have one of these in play school.
That's where we got it from. Your mother sent it to us.
You know, we want you to be really prepared for your games.
Well,
and
thank you. That's
to help
just
you out
wonderful.
even more.
Look at this.
You can write all your notes on this.
Isn't that great?
That's a baby picture of him back, and we put it on.
Can I color it at home? Or?
This is probably what Mike looked like when he was a goalie. Lock in the mouth and everything.
Well, thank you very much. I'll be sure to use these as much as I can.
Well, Merry Christmas, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Thanks, Greener. You know, while we got everybody here, what did you think of that period for Houston? You know, they came out and at least showed that they weren't going to quit.
Well, they certainly did. The second period has always been a thorn in their side, and they came out very well. They got some shots on goal. They outshot Cincinnati, and they got some good pressure, but still, Cincinnati's just content to dump the puck down the ice as they had about 5 or 6 icings that period. So,
well, that takes us to the highlights, and let's go right to them as the Cyclones led it 4-1. They make it 5-1 at this point.
Well, it's a good job by Tomlinson. He comes in, he fakes a shot, and as we said before, it doesn't take a really hard shot to score a goal, but a well-placed one. Tomlinson he looks like he's going to shoot it, but then he fakes, comes down, he knows he has the lane, so he just dumps it between Gamble's legs, and that was Tomlinson's second of the game.
And at that point, it's 5-1 Cincinnati. Here come the Cyclones again.
Well, it's a good shot. Gamble, the rebound comes out. Townsend can't get a hold of Greenlaw, and Greenlaw gets his 3rd goal of the game. Greenlaw breaking in very good as Biggs drops it to Dobbin. Dobbin does a smart thing. He shoots the puck on goal. Gamble can't control it, and a streaking Greenlaw gets rewarded.
So Greenlaw is third of the night, as you say, fifth of the year at .529. Dobbin and Biggs getting the assist. It's 6-1 Cincinnati, but we said the Aeros don't quit.
They don't quit, and a good pass by Lamb over to Laniel. Laniel just puts it on goal. Dahlquist comes into the scene trying to help out, but he doesn't. He helps out the Aeros and deflects the puck up over top of the shoulder. A good job by Slivchenko taking two guys with him. Lamb feeds it across to Laniel. Laniel just dumps it into the net, like we said. Dahlquist chips into the net, and that made it 6-2.
Fourth of the year for Laniel at 6:14. Marc, Lamb, and Vadim Slivchenko getting the assist, and the Cyclones lead it by a score of 6-2. And realistically, I think you made a good point, Greener, in that the Aeros, I think, need to win this period, regardless. Even if they win it 1-0, they're not going to win the hockey game, but if they can win the period, maybe something positive to build into tomorrow's game, because they're going to face off against not only a tough Cincinnati team again, but perhaps a tougher goalie in Danny Lorenz.
Well, certainly, and his goaltending's been a key so many times against the Aeros, and Daniel Lorenz is going to be a big key tomorrow night. Momentum is a huge thing. If they can take some momentum into tomorrow night's game, you never know. They might be able to jump up and give themselves a good Christmas gift.
Yeah, and I think at this point, maybe Terry Ruskowski needs to find something on the bench, on the ice, to motivate his troops, and hopefully he'll find that in the final 20 minutes of this hockey game. It is 6-2 Cincinnati, and we'll return with more right after this.
Everything's new at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Even new ways to save. The 96 Buyer's Choice Drive Away. It's your choice. Drive away in the fun-to-drive 1996 Plymouth Neon and get 1.9% APR or $500 cash back.
Right here, right now, this is where you want to be.
See what's new at your local Texas Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane,
Frank, we're late.
Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving. For smooth starts and sure acceleration, just give us 5 tanks, and we think you'll see a difference. A word of advice, though. Maybe you'd better leave the windows rolled up.
This is the studios at Las Colinas, the premier motion picture and television studios of the South, which are now open to the public for guided tours. Come visit the stages where films like Silkwood, JFK, RoboCop, and Leap of Faith were filmed. A gallery of memorabilia, such as Superman's cape and Batman's costume, and the miniature submarine from Hunt for Red October, along with hundreds of artifacts from the National Museum of Communications. Call 214-869-FILM.
Raise a glass and toast a new year of sports in January on Prime Sports. These old acquaintances could never be forgot as the Rockets, Spurs, and Mavs pop the cork on a new year of NBA hoops. Next, the Bees won't have the only black eyes in January as the Stars light up the NHL and the Aeros take aim at the IHL. The college kids are setting lofty goals this year that they plan to reach with authority. And when you're done counting down the new year, start counting down to signing day as the high school blue chips fall where they may. So make it your resolution to catch more sports in January on Prime Sports.
6-2 hockey game in favor of the Cincinnati Cyclones. We're in the second intermission. Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenlay. And, you know, before we get quickly to the scoring summary, real quick, what do you think Terry Ruskowski's telling his guys in the intermission there?
Well, I think he's telling them to get back to that game plan, the one that was working in the first period. They were doing so well, and as soon as the Aeros scored the goal, that seemed to open up the floodgates, and they didn't see another one for a while.
All right, and that'll take us to our Columbia HCA scoring summary, and we'll take you back. The Aeros started it off at 14:32. Scott Arneal from Marc Lamb and Mike Maurice. The Aeros looked like they were on their way. Wrong answer. Doug Macdonald in 34 seconds would start a downfall. Macdonald unassisted at 15:03, then 2 by Jeff Greenlaw at 15:16 and 15:37 made it 3-1 Cincinnati, and then with 10 seconds remaining in the first period, Dave Tomlinson from Len Esau made it 4-1 after 1. We moved to the second period, and Tomlinson was on the mark again at 5:06 from Lawless. He made it 5-1, and then the hat trick was completed by Jeff Greenlaw, Dobbin, and Biggs getting the assist. It was 6-1 Cincinnati, and then Marc Laniel from Lamb and Slivchenko at 6:14, and it was 6-2 at that point. When we return, we'll have the stats and the third period. Back after this.
Discover.
Over the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Here are 3 more new choices that make it easier for you to drive a roomy, zoomy 96 Dodge Neon. Like cash savings of $500, or an interest rate as low as 1.9%. Or choose a Neon lease rate of only $199 a month. The Dodge Buyer's Choice Sale.
See your Texas Dodge dealer today.
The glowworm is a beetle. The adult male has wings and does not glow. The glowworm's head is interesting.
There was a time when you didn't need a very thorough television guide, but today you need a guide that gives you the whole picture. Cable Connection magazine is tailored to your local cable system with complete listings and reviews. It's the best way to keep up with TV today.
So what's it gonna be? Worms or clowns?
Cable Connection. Get the whole picture.
It's a coast-to-coast shootout in college hoops. Slams, jams, and nothing but net. ECAC Holiday Festival semifinal, Wednesday at 6 on Prime Sports.
Big 12 in 96, Prime Sports.
About ready to start the third period, and Cincinnati leading by a score of 6-2. Adam Gordon, Mike Greenlay. And, you know, looking ahead to tomorrow's action between these same two teams, I think the Aeros wouldn't mind a little early Christmas gift and try and bounce back with a win. You know, I'm not writing things off for tonight, but however, they do need to consider themselves that they need to try and split this weekend series heading into the Christmas break. Let's take a look at the second period stats. They're brought to you by your local Jeep and Eagle dealer. 25-20 shots on goal through 2 periods. Both teams went 0 for 3 on the power play, and the penalty minutes even up at 5 penalties for 13 minutes. Gord Donnelly and Marc Labelle are each in the penalty box. They'll each have, basically 4:58 or so to work left on their 5-minute majors, and we're set for the third period. Well, Greener, different Greener tonight. This is Jeff Greenlaw that has 3 goals tonight. Is that an in-law? Get it? Greenlaw? In-law? No? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Doesn't look like
but
it.
I've been called Jeff Greenlaw before.
Oh, someone on the hockey team accidentally called you that at the start of the year, and I quickly corrected him. But I think everybody knows you now. They call you Mike Greenlay, and glad to have you here. Paying you the big bucks. What are you going to do with your Christmas gift? I like that. That was terrific.
I'm going to use it.
You'll need it. Keep yourself organized. Here come the Aeros. They'll put the puck into the Cincinnati zone. Slavchenko busting in the left side. That's knocked away. Chris Dahlquist. Give it to Dobb, and he'll chip it right back down the ice. And Miles O'Connor is there. Turn it ahead far Neal. Quick pass. Lab across the line. Block Dahlquist. Move it back. Krupke trying to move in. He's pushed off the puck. Len Esau is there, and he slams it off the glass. It's back at neutral ice. Hawkins picks it right through O'Connor. He's in on goal. Great save, Gamble. Had to save the day there. Boy, that's twice that the poke check has been very effective for Cincinnati. Joyce across the line. Tees it up, centered for Kontos, blocked by Laniel and Conroy, and the Aeros will clear it. Conroy scampers to center. Give it to Yo. Back for Conroy, and a penalty coming up for Dwayne Joyce as Hawkins will play it, and the Aeros are going to be shorthanded.
Well, Dwayne Joyce defending a little too much on Conroy in that play, and he dumps him as he was driving to the net. And so Joyce will get another penalty tonight, and this will give the Aeros a chance on the power play. The Aeros scored the last goal, so they scored this last goal to make it 6-2. So maybe they can pop a couple here, make it 6-3, 6-4. You never know. It could get interesting. Maybe make a little run for it.
A moment ago, it was very close for Houston, though. Another turnover. This one from Miles O'Connor. And Todd Hawkins makes him pay, but couldn't quite get the shot or get the goal here as Gamble made a nice save.
He did. Hawkins walked in, and Gamble stepped out, cutting down the angle and negating his path across the front of the crease, and Hawkins just had to dump it right into Gamble's chest.
Aeros win the draw. They're on the power play. 4th time tonight. Laniel the shot. Ricocheted wide, loose in the slot. Picked up by Kelly Hurd. Turns it back Laniel. Laniel getting set on the power play. Gives it over to Jakes. Back for Laniel. He tees it up. Waits. Turns it down. A bit of a hand grenade of a pass that's knocked away. Macdonald had it chipped away. It came behind the net. Esau spins it off the boards. It went right through Laniel, and it's back down the ice. out of the net, and he will slow it for Steve Jakes. 18:25 to go in the third. 6-2 Cincinnati. Here's Marc Laniel busting it out of his zone. Quick pass for Kelly Hurd. Looks for Conroy. Hurd moving in. Base of the circle. Center. Conroy shoots. Great save by Freddie Chabot. And then another shot that drizzles in from Steve Jakes. Didn't get really get good wood on it. And Chabot will hold on with 18:12 to go in the third. 1:16 left in the Dwayne Joyce penalty. 6-2 Cyclones.
Kelly Hurd makes a great move down low. He gets it across, and I tell you what, you don't get too many chances like that on Cincinnati. And Conroy can't find the mark, and Chabot makes a great save. Hurd feeds it right to him, and he gets a good quick shot. Chabot gets his left pad on that and stops the rebound as well, and then freezes the puck. A good job by Chabot and the defense for Cincinnati.
Cyclones move the puck near side, can't clear the zone. Aeros hold it in as Townsend went to the body. Puck along the boards, it's fished out by Cyclones and shot right back down the ice. 1:03 remaining in the Joyce Spiner, and back goes Marc Lamb. Lamb right to left. He'll move it up and out of the zone. Pass to the near side for Miles O'Connor. Give it to Turgeon. Poked away by Greenlaw. Lamb got it back. Lamb at his own blue line. He'll turn it up ice. A pass too far for Turgeon. Out of the net, Freddie Chabot. He'll fling it along the wall. Knocked down by Freer. Freer trying to move it out in front. Turgeon battling in there as well. It's scooped through the legs of Sylvain Turgeon. And away the Cyclones come. They'll shoot it right back down the ice. Down to 35 on the power play. Lamb in his own end. He'll turn it up ice. Lamb forechecked by Kontos. Nearly had it taken away, and then Kontos takes the puck away. And he'll rip it to the far side for Macdonald. Watched by O'Connor. A couple of 44s grappling in there, and it came to center. Aeros fighting for it, but Macdonald's just lowering the boom on everybody. And finally, O'Connor will shoot it into the Cincinnati zone. DeGray goes back, and then Esau and Turgeon getting all locked up, and then some pushing and shoving. Townsend getting in there, and I think we're going to have some penalties.
They were falling down like bowling pins in front of that net, and guys were getting bounced around pretty good. As Macdonald was throwing his weight around, Townsend got in there, and Turgeon throwing his weight around as well in front of the net. And there will be a couple of calls, but in front of the net, DeGray goes back, and it's Townsend in front. And then Freer gets in there, and they all start going down. There's no Weebles in front of that net because they all went down. And eventually everyone just ties up, and a couple guys to the box for penalties.
Right now, Len Esau goes to the box. Turgeon goes in for Houston. And they'll face it off in the Cincinnati zone. It'll stay 5-a-side, as there's still 10 seconds left to Dwayne Joyce's penalty.
I guess it's up to the Aeros right now to make something happen, whether it's in front of the net or whether it's coming out of their own zone. And like I said, you know, Cincinnati, they're content just to finish this game off the way they're playing it right now. And the Aeros, I guess it's up to them to really make something turn around here by either getting a goal or causing some more things to happen. They are out shooting Cincinnati, but they need to really outshoot them to get some goals by Chabot.
Well, they can outshoot them all they want. They need to get them by them. That's what counts. Off the face-off, Laniel's got it at the left point. Here's Jakes, tees it up, turns it down. Slivchenko, a pass that's too far. Penalty down to 3 seconds. Maurice behind the net, trying to center one, missed Arneal, and away the Cyclones come. Here's a pass for Joyce, but it was read beautifully by Laniel. He'll take over. Laniel in his own zone, get it out to Slivchenko at center. Maurice trying to chip it ahead. Maurice along the far boards. Tomlinson knocked it away, and now it's turned away. Here is Slivchenko, left side, turned it around. It was pushed by Joyce and cleared out at center. A pass that goes into the arrow end, and here is Marc Laniel. Laniel in behind his net. He'll play the puck from right to left with 16.5 to go in the third at a 6-2 Cincinnati lead. Laniel wings to Jakes. Rink-wide pass kicked away, though, by Tomlinson. Aeros have it at center. Rink-wide pass comes to Slivchenko. Makes his move, had it poked away by Dahlquist, and then he dumps him along the far boards. And everyone falling on top of the puck, and then Krupke comes in and lowers the boom. Yeah, whatever. Tomlinson wants to talk with Gord Krupke. I'd like to see that.
I tell you what, it looked like a dog pile in there, and eventually Krupke throws Thomas to the ice. Krupke's been playing very physical, and that's good to see.
All right, it's 6-2 Cincinnati. Back after this, but first this word from Southwest Airlines.
Gotta Go's come in 2 kinds. Not so good.
That tooth has gotta go.
And good.
Got the flowers, Marc. Now, when are you sending you?
Well, for the good kind, Southwest Airlines has Gotta Go fares from $19 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays.
I'm real lonely.
But hurry, because the going isn't always this good.
Mom, I gotta go!
Southwest, the low-fare airline.
From Emory to Jackie to RC, from the wishbone to the birth of the 12th man team to the wrecking crew. Relive the greatest plays, games, and players in the new video Domination in College Station. The modern era of Texas A&M football. The video, a must for all Aggie fans. To order your official Domination in College Station video for only $24.95, call 1-800-903-7803. That's 1-800-903-7803.
Back at the Summit, 6-2 Cyclones, and I think someone yelled dog pile on Slivchenko, because down he goes on top of him, and then there goes Laniel and the whole boys, and then Krupke comes in and starts throwing his weight around as he knocks Thomas to the ice. Nothing came of that, really, and we remain the way we are.
4 minutes gone in the third, a 6-2 hockey game. And the puck is picked up by Jeff Greenlaw, cutting in front, looks for Biggs. It's knocked away. Krupke trying to swat it out of there. And it's pushed ahead and pushed to the line, not out. Here's Yo rather. He'll move it out at center ice and hand it over to Krupke. Flipped it into the Cincinnati zone. Chabot comes down to the net, reversed it near side. And Don Biggs is there. He's crushed along the boards by Yo. Shot right on Chabot to save. Yo fighting for it. Can't pull the trigger, and it's pushed out at center ice. Townsend, first one back in his own end. Graham Townsend moves it up ice. Townsend down the right side trying to push it in. He was harassed by Tomlinson. It came into the zone. And now it is played by the Cyclones into the corner. Townsend roughs up Scott Thomas, but Dwayne Joyce is there, and he'll hoist it to center ice. Back are the Aeros, Laniel. They'll turn in behind his net. Laniel, a pass to Scott Arneal, trying to push one ahead, and it's back to the near side. At center, Dahlquist. Give it to Lawless, trying to move it around Jakes. Backhander stuck aside by Gamble, pushed it over to Laniel, fired it off the boards, and it's out at center ice. 5 minutes gone in the third, 6-2 Cincinnati. Here's Steve Jakes in behind the net. Jakes pass off the boards, came to the line, not out. Dahlquist held it in. Turning his Jakes again, had his pocket pick. And Cincinnati will flip it back into the Aero end. Knocked down by Troy Gamble. And here's Scott Arneal. Pass too far for Laniel. It's out at center ice. Macdonald shoots it into the Aero end. Back to Steve Jakes. He'll flip a pass for Lamb. Lamb in his own end, trying to find Slivchenko springing down the right side, too far, and it's shot out to center ice by Chris Dahlquist. Turned around by Chris Kontos. Goes into the Aero end, and Miles O'Connor goes back. O'Connor a pass, came out to Slivchenko at center ice. Slivchenko trying to split the D, give it to Freer, to Maurice, right in, but it rolled off his stick, couldn't get the shot away. Maurice along the near wall, he's bumped. And the Cyclones clear it out at center, and Miles O'Connor will hustle back with 6 minutes gone in the third. 6-2 Cincinnati. Here's Slivchenko at neutral ice. He'll buzz down the right side. Slivchenko looks in front, cuts to the slot. He's knocked off the puck. It came into the slot. And now the Cyclones scamper to center. Macdonald moving down the right side. Macdonald, he's shouldered off by O'Connor, who bulldogs him down. Could have been a penalty, but no call. Aeros, Mike Maurice shoots it out at center ice. Dale DeGray is there. And it's picked up by Dwayne Joyce. Bumps it into the Aero end. Gamble will slow it behind the cage. Here come the Aeros now. Laniel speaking up and out of his zone, harassed by Don Biggs. Laniel pushed it ahead for Yo, but Joyce was there to reject it and flutter the pass back into the Aero end. Krupke hustles back. He and Biggs go after it. Krupke takes a hit from Don Biggs, but got it out at center. Now we've got a penalty coming up to the Houston Aeros. A delayed call. Don Biggs across the line. Dumped it in. After it, Conroy, can he get there? Yes, he will. And with 13 minutes remaining in the third, it's 6-2 Cincinnati. When we return, the Cyclone power play. We'll be back right after this.
Michael showed them to find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Every now and then, somebody in Texas grows up to be famous. Unfortunately, not all
babies get a fair shot at life. Nearly half the babies in Texas don't get the immunizations they need. To protect against deadly diseases, babies need 4 immunization visits by age 2. After all, in Texas, every child is somebody famous.
Welcome back at the Summit. Cyclones lead at 6-2, and the penalty as it was Malgunas who got a little bit of spinorama on a Cincinnati player. He'll get 2 minutes for roughing and sit in the box as the Aeros will have to kill one off. The score is 6-2. A goal wouldn't help them for sure, but it certainly can't hurt them too much more as they trail it by 4.
Well, if you have to pick out at least a positive tonight, their penalty killing has been outstanding. They'll be taxed again. Here's the shot by Esau, hammered wide of the net, picked up by Dobbin, chopped away by Donnelly. It came back behind the net for Brian Dobbin, fired it out in front for Biggs, back to the line for Dale DeGray. Over to the left side, Esau the drive, ricocheted, rebound. Oh, hammered wide by Kontos. He had Gamble down and out, but I think he missed the net, or Gamble might have gotten a piece of that. Jakes at center ice. Rolled one back into the Cincinnati zone, and Len Esau is there. Esau turning at center. He'll rip one into the arrow end. It'll come to the near side. Kontos trying to move it down. He was bumped by Gord Krupke, and Conroy trying to feather a pass away. It came to the corner. Back is Len Esau to left point. Give it to DeGray. Dale DeGray trying to hook it down. Dobbin behind the net, harassed by Jakes. And Cincinnati, Don Biggs. And we're going to get a penalty coming up to Cincinnati. What a great way to end the kill off a penalty is draw one of your own here, and Brian Dobbin's going to go into the box.
Dobbin gets his stick a little too active in there, and you're right, they will get the penalty. That'll nullify their power play and bring it back to even for another minute and 10 seconds. Then Malgunas will come out of the box, and the Aeros will have a power play of their own.
Brian Dobbin, who played for Milwaukee last year, acquired in the offseason along with Dave Marzinishin, who's out with a broken bone in his hand. And Troy Gamble a moment ago, I guess, does end up coming up with a nice save here.
Well, the puck is sent across and is deflected, and he's down. He tries to get back across, and I think that came off the near post. I don't know if that hit Gamble, because I did hear a little bit of a ring when that shot was taken. And good job by Gamble trying to get back across the crease.
I think that ring you heard was my head. I came up with an idea, and then I forgot it, so I don't know. He's even Troy Gamble like that one. Had a little smile on his face.
I think that's a grimace.
Have some fun, Greener. It's the holidays, or you're not going to get your Christmas gift. I'm going to send that brand new Jeep back that I bought you. Here's Miles O'Connor in behind the net. He'll move it from right to left. O'Connor trying to shake off a check. Girls are going to get a power play here in a minute. Lamb hits the line. Looks down the left side. Feather to pass out in front. Arneal redirects one, but I don't think Chabot got there, but it was wide anyway. And here comes Lawless. Flames shooting out of the back of his skates as he barrels down the right side. Tries to make his move around, but it's knocked away. Can Houston turn it into a rush? Not with Lawless hustling back along with Tomlinson, who knocks his man down. Tomlinson drilling one of the arrows along the board. They couldn't see who it was. They're still down. It was Marc Lamb. They both get back up. Here is Dwayne Joyce turning in behind the net. Worked it over to Tomlinson. We're 4-on-4 for another 25. 6-2 Cyclones. Joyce out at center ice. He'll boot one into the arrow end. Gamble out to slow. And here's Mark Laniel. Laniel will turn from right to left. Pass out center ice. Slivchenko hits the line. Slivchenko cutting in. Centered for Turgeon. Not enough there. And here comes Cincinnati. They're going to be short-handed as they bring it in. Thomas, but that's a delayed offside. So they're at center. Thomas back at his own blue line as the Arrows are on the power play for 44 more seconds. Puck goes into the arrow end. And back goes Laniel. It is Laniel. Right to left he comes. Scampers to center. Meanders one high in the air. That'll bounce into the Cincinnati zone. Dahlquist was there. Redirects along the boards, and Macdonald will rip that right back down the ice. 23 on the power play for Houston. Slivchenko gives it to Miles O'Connor. Bounced over his stick. Lamb had to regroup in his own end. Forecheck by Don Biggs. Here comes O'Connor left side. He'll bring it across the line. O'Connor trying to slice in there. Give it to Yo. Yo in the slot. Yo to Freer. Can't pull the trigger. Turgeon scored! Sylvie Turgeon power play goal. And it's now 6-3 Cincinnati.
A big mess in front of that net, and somehow Turgeon finds the puck and just jams it upstairs on Chabot. Chabot is really angry because he thinks the puck was played with a hand by Freer, who was on the ice, and Turgeon gets the goal anyways. But actually, I think it was Yo's on the ice. He thought that Yo might have fed it to Turgeon, and but nevertheless, Turgeon gets a good shot, and he fires it right upstairs as Yo goes down in front. And then the puck squirts loose, and there was no hand pass there, I don't think.
No.
As he just falls on the puck and gets back up. But Turgeon following up nicely on the play. He just jams one home, and Turgeon will find his 10th goal of the season.
7-game point streak now for Sylvain Turgeon. 3 goals, 11 assists for 14 points, and they'll face off at center. So the Aeros are down by 3. Enough time, 10 minutes, 11 seconds, but they're going to try and do it against the top team in the eye, the Cincinnati Cyclones. I don't know what Dale DeGray is complaining about.
They're probably still complaining about that call there, or the non-call. They thought that Yo might have played the puck with his hand to Turgeon, and that would negate the goal, but the call has been made, and the goal stands at 6-3 Cincinnati.
Here is Maurice, who jams one into the Cincinnati zone. That is blasted right back out at center. And the Aeros have got it. Krupke ripped one into the Cincinnati zone. Bounced near side to Gray. Chip Conroy held to the left wing. Kontos fired it high in the air, and it's back at center ice for Gord Donnelly. Hammered it into the Cincinnati zone. Dwayne Joyce trying to clear. He will. That's high in the air and back toward the Aero end. Donnelly hustles back to play. Forecheck by Hawkins. And here is Krupke. Give it to Kelly Hurd. He's bumped off the puck, and the Cyclones are there. 9.5 to go in the hockey game. 6-3 Cincinnati. Dwayne Joyce. Center ice pass misses everybody. This will go down to Troy Gamble. That will negate the icing. Gamble wings one over to Marc Lamb, and he will turn in behind the net and start the rush. Playing peekaboo with Chris Kontos. Lamb for Laniel. He'll move it out at center ice. Quick pass for Kelly Hurd. Pushed one into the Cincinnati zone. Knocked away by Scott Thomas. Out at center. The Cyclones fire it ahead, but it's played by Jakes. Bringing Townsend down the right side. Looking for Lamb. Centered in front. Flirted away by Freddie Chabot. Here's a shot from Laniel. Block. Rebound in front. Here's a drive. Oh, I think it hit Arneal in behind. Now it is Lamb again. Centered, but it was knocked away. Whoa, Arneal had another chance in there. The Aeros are coming after him here. Cincinnati hoists it high in the air. That'll bounce out at center ice. Jakes turns one ahead for Arneal. Looked like a two-line pass, but play moving on, and may have got it on his side of center ice, though. Goes back to the Cincinnati zone. Townsend lowers the move on Dahlquist. Aeros come into attack. Townsend fighting for it. Freer picks it loose with Turgeon. Freer looks in front for Sylvain. Townsend battling for it. He's being shaded. Freer takes it away. Freer being harassed by Tomlinson, and it's taken back by Cincinnati. Lawless, high in the air again. He'll bounce it into the arrow end. That's all they're doing is shooting it high in the air. They're not even really attacking right now. They lead at 6-3. Puck goes into the Cyclone end. Out of the net, Chabot fires it along the boards. Turgeon knocked it down. Chipped away by Biggs. Aeros trying to hold it a point. Good job by Krupke, but it's finally fired out at center ice. Aeros go back. Miles O'Connor. With the Krupke. Pass knocked away by Greenlaw, who's got 3 goals tonight. And it goes into the arrow end. Miles O'Connor brings it off the glass. Bouncing puck got through Yo, and Dwayne Joyce goes back into his own end. Joyce off the boards, and it goes all the way back for Gord Krupke. Krupke, give it ahead. Yo to Turgeon, busting in. Turgeon fights it back. Yo winding it out, wanted to get the shot away, fanned partially on it, and Dahlquist flings it up and out at center ice. Here comes Cincinnati, though, and they're going to blow that dead on a hand pass. Let's take time out. 7:20 to go in the third. 6-3 Cincinnati. We'll be right back.
Here's your wake-up call, nature lover.
If that didn't work, try this. Now, for only $259 a month, get a classic Jeep Cherokee with 190 horsepower, automatic transmission, quadra-link suspension, and driver's airbag. All for only $259 a month, including air at no charge. Now, if that didn't wake you up, try this.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Hey,
Hey golfers, here comes Courtney Cannell as Doc Golf in the hilarious spoof of the game, Golf Can Be Cruel. You'll be knocked to your knees in laughter as the Doc and a zany cast of characters try to help you improve your swing, get you out of trouble shots, caddy relations, and driving accuracy. It's a must for your video collection. Golfers and non-golfers will be playing this one over and over again. You'll be imitating this one to friends and family. The laughs are abundant. Golf Can Be Cruel, a surefire prescription for the whole family.
6-3 Cincinnati with 7:20 to go. You know, the Aeros come in with a 4-game losing streak at home. The last time the Aeros won a home game was almost a month ago, November 29th against Indianapolis. And the Aeros would like to snap that, but they're 7:20 away from making it 5 in a row at home in the loss department. I don't know what it is about the Summit. You know, the Aeros have started practicing on game days at the Aerodrome. Normally a game day skate is right here at the Summit, but the last couple of times they've done it at the Aerodrome. Here comes Slivchenko moving down the left side. Shoots. Great save by Chabot. He got a right pad on it, and he'll hold on.
Slivchenko moves in very well and gets a good shot on goal there. And Chabot does a good job to cover it up.
Folks, celebrate the new year with the Houston Aeros and Christian recording artist Amy Morris, presented by Texaco. The Summit will be filled with high-sticking, high-stepping, fun-loving hockey and music and fans. And the Houston Aeros will take on the Orlando Solar Bears at 8 p.m. Amy Morris will perform during both intermissions. That's New Year's Eve in the Summit with Houston Aeros and Amy Morris. Here's Dahlquist. Fires one off the left side from Marc. Labelle. Donnelly's out there as well with Labelle, so Greener keep an eye on those two.
Could be some fireworks.
Yep, puck goes down. Greener's got Labelle lined up in his sights, but got through the check. Labelle rips into the check near side. It came behind the net and gambles there, and it's thwarted away. Donnelly wings one over to Marc Laniel, and here's Maurice at center ice. Give it to Conroy. He'll hit the line, shoot it into the Cincinnati zone. Wells goes back to Chabot, spanks it along the boards, and here is Macdonald. Macdonald will move it up and out of the zone for Marc. Labelle, no, he wanted to get it to him, instead shoots it in, and Labelle will come off for the line change. Puck goes down, and we've got a whistle as a slashing minor coming up.
And it's coming up to the Aeros as they touch the puck, and it's someone who had gone to the bench. And I'm not sure who's jumping over the boards, or actually it isn't. It's a guy that's on the ice, and that's Hal Conroy. They'll get a slashing call, and that'll throw the Cincinnati Cyclones back on the power play. And the score is 6-3 at only 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third period.
Sure to join Mike Greenlay and myself following the hockey game on 950 KPRC for the Houston Aeros postgame highlight show. We take your calls, 777-5772. We'll take your calls tonight, so be sure to call in. And
I'm interested to hear some of the questions tonight.
Yes. And for those of you watching on Prime Sports, there's the number on your screen to call after the game. Just pick up the phone, tune your radio to KPRC 950 AM. We'll take your calls. I can't wait to hear what the fans have to say. Cyclones 0 for 5 on the power play. This is number 6. They bring it into the Aeros zone. Arneal worked it away. He's got a goal tonight. He had the first goal. And now here's Marc Lamb bringing it across the line. Short-handed. Lamb turned it back, looked in front, knocked away by Thomas, and now it's Dale DeGray. 6:07 to go in the third period. Dale DeGray flushed out by Lamb. Give it to Tomlinson, and he'll scamper to center. Tomlinson across the line. Tomlinson trying to make the move. Give it to Lawless. Hooked it down for Tomlinson behind the cage. He had Scott Thomas in front. Here is Tomlinson. He'll set up on the left side. He's got DeGray back door at centered. Score. Oh boy, you saw that coming the whole way. Dale DeGray was pinching about 5 seconds before the puck even got down to Thomas, and a power play goal at 7-3 Cincinnati.
Yeah, Dale DeGray timed that perfectly, because just as he got there, the puck got there, and all he had to do was tap it in the net. It was passed down. Tomlinson fed it down, and it came right back across, and you can see Dale DeGray just putting the brakes on at the top of the crease, and he'll get his 6th goal of the season. And I tell you what a nicely planned play there as they score on the power play. Their first power play goal of the night, and that makes it 7-3 as fans start to file out of the ring.
5:38 to go. 7-3 Cincinnati. Wells shoots it into the arrow end. Laniel back at his own blue line. And here is Mark Freer moving down the right side, pulls up at the right point. Freer getting set. He had Laniel in front, tees it up, shoots deflected right on. Chabot the save, rebound. Yo trying to poke one in there. Mike Yo's been a little snake bit tonight. He's created some chances.
Number 19, Scott Thomas, and number 17,
it is Jakes. Worked on by Don Biggs. It came to Laniel behind the net with the puck shot out at center ice. And back into the Cincinnati zone. Chris Dahlquist get it out to Biggs. He'll move it up and out of the zone for Brian Dobbin. It goes into the arrow end. And Gordon Krupke is back. Krupke for Yo. Trying to move it out at center, but it was pushed away by Dwayne Joyce. And it's shot into the Houston arrow end. Donnelly after it. Gamble comes out of the net. Well, I'll tell you, if you're Terry Ruskowski, who do you put in the pipes tomorrow? Dale DeGray. Trying to move it down. Give it to Macdonald. It came back to the line. DeGray held it in. He walks in, but we get a whistle, and we'll take timeout. 4:32 to go in this one. Cyclones up by 4.
For cars that can benefit from higher octane, Texaco Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium were formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving, to give you smooth starts and sure acceleration. Just give us 5 tanks, and we think Power Plus and Power Premium will make quite an impression on you.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Grizzlies and the Rockets, Tuesday at 7:30 on Prime Sports.
Back inside the Summit, Adam Gordon along with Mike Greenlay. 7-3 Cincinnati. And it's looking like a penalty coming up to Doug Macdonald. And it'll be a tripping call, and they'll face it off at center ice. So the Aeros and the Cyclones tomorrow. Same time, same place, same 2 teams, hopefully different outcome. Folks, Saturday Night on Ice on UPN 20 returns, and Thursday, a special edition from Atlanta, where the Aeros have played very well. They've won their last 2 meetings there. They'll take on the Atlanta Knights at 6:30 on UPN 20, and of course on KPRC 9:50 a.m. Puck is in the arrow end. They're on the power play. 4:19 to go in the hockey game. Aeros trail 7-3. Here comes Slivchenko barreling down the right side. He was knocked down by Dwayne Joyce. Paid a price there. And the puck is pushed to the line. Batted down by Lamb. And here comes Cincinnati to center. Dwayne Joyce through the neutral zone. Chipped it into the arrow end. And Slivchenko goes back. Let's O'Connor play it now. Miles O'Connor. Give it to Slivchenko. He'll roll it into the Cincinnati zone. Chabot slows behind the net. It's ripped around by Jeff Wells. To the line, not out. Wells will try it again. This time it'll go all the way back into the arrow end. That hit the linesman. And it's right back into the arrow end. Another shot all the way down and then clipped the linesman, Sam Gallup. Here is Marc Laniel. He'll fire one ahead. That is blocked. Turned away. Laniel moves it down, and then Labelle takes it away. Marc Labelle trying to move down the left side. Sized up by Laniel. Checked in the corner. Picked up by Shahaki. Hey, the Cyclones have the puck, but now the Aeros take it away. 3-on-2 Fur on the power play. Shooting. Chabot the glove save, and he'll hold on. 42 seconds left in the Macdonald penalty. 3:14 to go in the third. 7-3 Cincinnati.
At least the Aeros are going to get a little bit of help from Cleveland, as Cleveland's defeated Atlanta 6-3. So Atlanta won't pull away any more than they already are. But the Aeros are going to have to maybe come back with a good one tomorrow night.
Face off to the left side of Freddie Chabot. And it'll be Freer against Don Biggs. Drop of the puck, and the Cyclones have got it. DeGray ripped it off the glass. That'll go down the ice. 35 remaining on the power play. Troy Gamble will slow from in behind the net, and here is Steve Jakes. Jakes, give it to Laniel. Had it poked away by Greenlaw, but got it back. Laniel over to Freer. He'll bring it across the line with Arneal and Townsend. It goes into the near corner. After it, Don Biggs. He's belted by Graham Townsend. Puck to the near side. Freer's got it back. Mark Freer Over to Lanyels, brings it down for Arneal. Here is Jake's top of the slot, trying to work one down. It's intercepted by Joyce, and the Cyclones romp to center, 3-on-2. Joyce trying to get through Jakes, does so. Right in on goal, trying to center the pass. Oh, short-handed Greenlaw hit the post. He was looking for 4 of it. Now back to Big, shoots, and Gamble will play that one. Greenlaw hesitated for a moment. It wasn't the best of passes. He had to gain his composure, but nearly got his 4th of the night. Here's a pass to the near side. And Dahlquist goes back. Pursued by Kelly Hurd. Wings went all the way back out at center. The penalty is over. Teams are at 5 aside. Over for Kelly Hurd. Shoots it into the Cincinnati zone. In there after it was Maurice. He's tied up with Jeff Wells. They're skate to skate in the corner, which is to the left side of Freddie Chabot. Dug out by Maurice. They go at it in the corner. Wells poked it free. And it'll bounce to the near side. Scott Thomas, he'll swing it all the way down the ice. Icing indicated as Kelly Hurd will go back, but it didn't cross the end line, so icing is waved off. Hurd launched a pass to Maurice at center. Maurice will wind it into the Cincinnati zone with 1.5 remaining in the hockey game. 7-3 Cincinnati. And what do we got here?
Donnelly's chirping away, and then he gets Scott Thomas.
Yeah. Thomas and Donnelly going at it, and then Yo moves in, but Yo's got to be careful not to be a 3rd man here. You don't want to get a suspension for tomorrow's game.
And you know, with the way the format goes, the back-to-back games and everything, I've seen some real scary second games when things like this happen. You get a little frustration on one side, you get a little chippiness on the other or whatever, and then the second night's usually filled with fireworks. But Donnelly will exit, and they'll probably, I don't know if they'll even this up or not. He'll probably get the extra call as he cross-checked Thomas. And there you see Rob Dobson scratching his chin saying, what should we do next? And I'm sure Terry Ruskowski is saying the same thing.
Who do you put in tomorrow?
You know what? I think I'd go with Gamble just because, to fairness to Gamble, he didn't get the start tonight. And so I'd start Gamble and see how he fares. And, you know, just go from there. It's always tough to come in cold. And if Gamble gets a good warm-up and he gets in there, he might get a hot game, and that's what the Aeros need right now.
Well, we've got him, and I want to remind you that the Houston Aeros are hosting the 1996 IHL All-Star Game. You can join us for 3 fun-filled days featuring a Friday night extravaganza with the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. They'll take on the 1974 AFCO Cup champion Houston Aeros. There's a concert by Bruce Hornsby in the range also. The weekend also includes a charity golf tournament, a kids anti-gang rally, and Ice Fest, a festival featuring trading card show, autograph sessions, and interactive activities. Folks, it's just, if there's something to do with ice, it's there. It's January 12th through the 14th. Tickets are on sale right now at all Ticketmaster locations and at the Summit box office. All right, 7-3 Cincinnati. The extra minor did go to Gord Donnelly as Jake's trying to cut in or to shorthanded, but it was knocked away, and Lawless is there. 1:20 to go. The Cyclones are going to finish on the power play unless they score or another penalty is called. DeGray with the puck, trying to turn one ahead for Lawless. That's blasted away by O'Connor, and it'll go down the ice. Chabot. He'll move it in behind, and it is controlled by Dwayne Joyce. Brings it to the near side for Lawless. He'll move it up and out at center and then work back as Conroy forechecks him. And we're under a minute to go in this one, and the Aeros are going to lose their 5th in a row at home. It'll be 2 in a row overall as Thomas moving down the left side, trying to get it in there. Arneal feathers it away, and the puck turned around, and we've got another penalty coming up to Houston.
It looked like a slashing call is probably go on Krupke, as Krupke gets someone on the outside of him, and he comes down with the lumber across the arms or across the stick. Nevertheless, he'll go to the box, and the Aeros will be 2 men short for the remaining 41 seconds.
7-3 Cincinnati. And as you see there on Prime Sports, Gord Krupke and now Terry Ruskowski.
Well, the Aeros are going to have to regroup, but they don't have a lot of time to do so.
No.
Yeah, they'll have to regroup real quick by tomorrow. See what happens in pregame skate tomorrow for the Aeros. And see what words of wisdom Terry Ruskowski has for the boys.
Wonder where he's going to warm them up. He may bring them down here tomorrow. And part of the reason they've been doing the Aerodrome is just because of traffic.
And yeah, convenience. I mean, it's close to home, and they can practice there if they want.
Yeah, everybody lives there. It's kind of ridiculous to come down here, skate for a half hour, and then go right back home. So, but I think tomorrow you might see him here. Just a thought. 5-on-3 for Cincinnati. 25 seconds to go in the game. Tomlinson rips a shot. Gamble the save. Puck picked up by Arneal. He'll turn behind the net. Fling it to the line. DeGray held it in at a right point. Getting set. Turns it over. Here's the one-time shot. Fanned on by Dwayne Joyce. O'Connor chipped it off the glass to the line. Not out. Joyce held it in. Here come the Cyclones. Biggs over Tomlinson. Shoots. Gamble save. Rebound Kontos. And he flipped it wide of the net. 4 seconds left. Puck is cleared, and that's the hockey game. The Cincinnati Cyclones have defeated the Houston Aeros by a score of 7-3. Jeff Greenlaw picks up 3 goals. Freddie Chabot right there raising his stick, and he will pick up the win. And with the win for Freddie Chabot, he has a record now of 12-4-1. And for those of you on Prime Sports, there's a look at Jeff Greenlaw with the 3 goals tonight. But definitely a team effort, and obviously you can point your finger back at that very brutal first period where the Aeros played very well for the first 15 minutes. They had a 1-0 lead, and then all of a sudden it was like the chute came out without anyone pulling it. It's like one of those malfunctioning chutes, and all of a sudden they went down with 3 unanswered goals in a matter of 34 seconds, 4 unanswered in the first period, and end up losing tonight 7-3.
Well, yeah, that was the kicker right there, was giving that one up and giving those up. And they pretty much lost the game in the first period.
All right, 7-3 Cincinnati, and we'll have more from the Summit after this.
C.L. Strickland of Strickland Chevrolet in Pearland talks about the importance of caring and making you happy.
When you buy a car from me, you're going to be happy. You're going to feel like we care. We don't just talk a story, we really feel it, and it will be very evident to you at Strickland Chevrolet that all of my people do care about your needs and want to satisfy you. It's not just we want your money, we do care, we want to make you happy.
Come home to Texas, come home to genuine Chevrolet.
Have you ever wanted your own TV commercial? If so, let us make one for you. We'll help you get your message across.
Duty, everybody.
We'll define your script.
Piece of paper with the writing on it.
We can even help with a jingle.
How about a nice musical?
We've got the best people and equipment, and we promise we won't break your pocketbook. Be the first on your block to have your own TV commercial. So call us.
Hello?
Thank you, Cable AdNet. Do it!
Silly boy.
Hey, Houston, step up to the plate. Get Astros full or mini-season tickets by calling 799-9567.
Astros baseball, star power.
She calls out to the man on the street.
There is help for thousands of disabled people who are homeless. SSI. It means cash payments, food stamps, and medical benefits. SSI. It means help for the homeless.
Aeros hockey on Prime Sports has been brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With low fares on every seat of every flight, everywhere it flies. Fly Southwest, the low-fare airline. By your participating Texas Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep and Eagle dealers. By Columbia HCA Healthcare Corporation, a new commitment to healthcare. Together. By Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. And by the Gatorade Company. If you're living life to the fullest, you're gonna get thirsty. That's why you need Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Life's a sport. Drink it up. (7-3) Cincinnati. They have defeated the Houston Aeros tonight, and they are now unbeaten in their last 8. The Cyclones are. The Aeros have dropped their 5th in a row at home, and their 2nd in a row overall, and a tough one tonight for the Houston Aeros. But let's take a look at tonight's Texaco star of the game, and no doubt about this one, 3 goals tonight for Jeff Greenlaw.
Yeah, and he almost had a few more, but Jeff Greenlaw certainly did get the 3 and really led his team to a victory.
All right, and with those 3 goals, it was pretty much the turning point for the Houston Aeros tonight. You know, I try and think back of that first period. What happened?
Well, it's like the anchor came out or something, because and it all happened on a quick goal by the Cincinnati Cyclones. The Aeros scored, Arneal with a great shot, and then within a few seconds the Cincinnati Cyclones came back, and they never looked back because they just went on for a 7-3 spanking.
And that's a good point, as it takes us to our Gatorade play of the game, and it all starts with a turnover from Gord Donnelly.
Well, the puck comes up the boards, and Arneal tries to chip it out, but he can't get a hold of it, and Macdonald, just with a good shot, you can see it's kind of a flip over kind of shot, and it goes right underneath the bar and down into the net, and that made it really a rout from there.
Yeah, I apologize. It's not the Donnelly play. That's the one where Arneal misplayed the pass from Miles O'Connor. So after that, there was one where Donnelly had it poked away by Brian Dobbin. That also resulted in a goal, but it all didn't matter, as the Cyclones have won it tonight by a score of 7-3. And we'll take a look at tonight's final stats. They're brought to you by your local Dodge dealer. 35-26, the Aeros outshoot the Cincinnati Cyclones. 39-30 in the face-off department for Houston. 11 penalties for 33 minutes for the Houston Aeros, and the Cyclones have 10 penalties for 31 minutes. So tomorrow, I'm sure a pregame skate. I don't know if it's going to be here or at the Aerodrome, but it doesn't matter. But I think some soul searching needs to be done by the guys, and we'll see what they have for us in store for tomorrow night.
Certainly, I'm sure Terry wants a Christmas gift, and tomorrow night would be a perfect win for them. Atlanta did lose tonight. Cleveland did the Aeros a little bit of a favor, so they don't climb anymore. So the Aeros are going to have to do themselves a favor and try and win tomorrow night.
All right, 7-3 the final. Thanks, Screener.
Thank you.
All right, the final 7-3 tonight. Hey, for those of you wanting to watch more IHL action, the Orlando Solar Bears and the Aeros from the Summit at 8 o'clock. That's on Prime Sports on New Year's Eve. The next game will be tomorrow night when these Aeros take on the same Cincinnati Cyclones. For those of you on KPRC, we'll have the post-game call-in show right after this. Again, the final score, Cincinnati 7, Houston 3. For Mike Greenlay, this is Adam Gordon saying good night for the Summit.